Previously on Twin Portal.
We have a little catch-up to do. The previous episode jumped from a dark and stormy night where SWOJ battled a hag shade in the attic of Trollskull Manor to the following morning where they cheerfully ate eggs in their new legally sanctioned home. We jumped through some minor story beats over Discord chat. SWOJ met with Volo and a tiefling magister named Kylin Silmerhelv to sign the deed of transfer to Trollskull Manor. As fresh owners, they quickly sought out Scoot's mother, Taga, bringing her back to the manor before calling it a night at their new place. When they awoke to the sound of scratching in the walls, episode 6 takes it from there. SWOJ followed breadcrumbs across the city in search of the individual responsible for sinking Scoot's old ship, the Sea Plum. They eventually cornered the culprit atop the hand of the God-Catcher, some 40 feet above the streets of Waterdeep. A second Ilka, hard-eyed and silent, was executing members of the Sea Plum's crew in the name of some dark god. She blasted Lark off the hand and made her escape, while the rest of SWOJ rushed to his aid, only to discover the bleeding corpse of their friend, Terry the Zuber driver. Where we left off, the party had just, through various means, launched themselves from the God-Catcher's hand about 40 feet off the streets of Waterdeep in the Castle Ward, the posh part of town. Most of SWOJ, landed quite safely, but Lark fell onto his back and was barely saved by a featherfall spell from Ilka.
Yay. Thanks, Ilka.
The rest of them jumped down to help him out as they were chasing this strange clone of Ilka, and on their way down, they patched Lark up and noticed that their friend Terry the Zuber driver, who had followed them to the God-Catcher, was dead, having been run through.
No.
The blood was pooling under his
dead?
corpse underneath his cart.
I heard run through, but I wasn't sure if it was
he's dead.
He's dead?
So, what do? You're in the heat of it still. Lark, you're barely conscious.
Is there any sign of... Did she actually look like Ilka? I can't remember that from...
She looked just like
Ilka.
But preserved. Yeah.
Okay.
I wore it better.
But there's any sign... Because it took us a bit to get down. She just went over the edge. And
right. She swan dived.
Yes, and I had to prepare some gear. So, I mean, is there any sign of her? Can we...
Roll investigation.
If I took a quick look, like a perception or a survival, could I see tracks? Can I have survival?
Yeah, roll survival.
Thank you.
For tracking, sure.
Shit! What? 20? So that's a 23.
23.
Or a 19 if you want to give me investigation.
First roll of the game.
Yep, that's going downhill from here.
Okay, so you case the joint in a thorough manner. You're looking up and down the street. There don't seem to be any passersby paying attention to what's going on. You're kind of in a narrow 20-foot wide street or so. Most of the shops are closed. It's getting close to noon. So things are starting to heat up in the city, but there doesn't seem to be much business going on here. You don't see any signs of the other Ilka.
Okay.
Or Zilka, as we're calling her. Wherever she went, she left without a trace.
Yep.
She passed without a trace.
Oh.
But you do notice on Terry's body that it's quickly pooling with blood, and there's obvious signs that he was stabbed through with a rapier.
Okay.
Like he's got a huge puncture wound through his clothes.
Okay.
Did Zilka have a rapier?
She did.
Oh, okay.
She didn't use it in the fight, but she had one.
Best use of a 20 ever.
He also
Plot device that he was never going to let me through.
You also noticed the last bit of sparkle fade from Terry's eye.
Oh.
You do, yeah.
Do I?
He has like a shocked expression on his face, like completely bewildered, and that expression fades into just a neutral, dead face as you're holding him in your hands.
Does he start to say something and like only get the first half of the word out before he dies?
No, he just kind of rattles like as you shake him a little bit, like the air escapes his lungs.
This was a scene in South Park.
Grim.
This is awful. Take a sending stone.
He does have a sending stone.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to take the sending stone.
This is awful. Take his sending stone.
Yeah. I pat Terry down for loot.
Mark is up at this point. He's just like shaking his head.
Yeah. What's he got on him?
Terrible.
You're recovered quick.
It's a shame. Is that leather?
And then, Scoot, as you're holding him, you hear a voice in your head that says, Scoot?
Voice?
Holy crap. and you recognize it as Terry's voice.
Oh God, that's not what I want at all.
Lucky Scoot.
No, this is
You're being
what?
haunted.
Okay, yeah, Terry.
Yeah, man.
Am I saying this out loud?
Are you? I don't know.
Because I'm hearing it in my head.
Yes.
So I think I should be saying it out loud. I don't think I'm bright enough to realize.
And you all hear Scoot say, Terry?
Yes, it's Terry, Scoot.
Oh, Terry.
Scoot, what is going on, man? I don't feel good.
You don't look good, Terry.
Oh no.
talking?
Oh no. And as this voice says this in your head, Terry's eyes like kind of snap into focus all of a sudden, and this corpse looks down at the wounds in its chest. And it's not really moving, but the eyes are moving, the head's moving a little bit.
What the?
I push him back.
drop.
I push him back onto the cart.
His head hits the console and he dies.
No,
And you hear the voice go, oh god, oh.
Terry.
Give me a second. And it kind of like shudders the body for a second. And then next to Terry's head, like from nothing, kind of foggy and then taking form, is this small brain with Leeland legs that you recognize from the sewers.
I get my axe.
And it just kind of stands there next to Terry's head and doesn't seem to like be threatening, or it looks kind of bewildered, if anything, just based on its body language, like a dog that looks confused.
Did it come out
Does
of his
it
head?
smell?
It just appeared next to his head.
So just four.
Is it corporeal?
It is corporeal now.
Could we see all this?
And then all of you hear in your heads saying, "Hey guys, it's me."
It's Terry's voice?
Yeah, the corpse is like completely limp at this point, and
Okay.
this brain is facing all of you near the cart next to Scoot.
Okay, so it appeared out from under the.
I'm hallucinating, everybody. I think this fall hurt me worse than I thought it
I
did.
feel like with Ilka's experience with dead and the undead, this is not that alarming.
Sure.
Do I know anything about this, like an Arcana check?
Roll Knowledge Arcana, or roll Arcana. This is 5th edition D&D.
Oh! Fail!
You know that
That looks like a brain.
there are many, many ways to bring things back from the dead, and you're not familiar with this one.
For the audio listeners, that's a 1.
Yes.
But +4.
Oh, that's a 5. That's better than many of my rolls.
Yeah, it's you really think about it, squint your head, but
You can't
This
see
is-
it, but
this
I'm
is just
squinting
bizarre.
right now.
Yeah.
Ilka, do you have anything? Do you have any powers left to help heal our buddy Lark here?
Gosh, do
Am I
I?
at like 1?
I think you are at 1, yeah.
I don't know if I have a spell slot. Well,
Zay holds out her hand and produces 10 good berries and starts feeding them to Lark one by one until he looks like he can stand up and come over and see this fucking brain. Lark, can you see this brain from where you're lying on the
Wait,
ground?
I thought it was a hallucination.
Not your
You see
brain,
it
a
too?
different brain.
Oh no!
It slowly
Your brain
pads
is not on the
over,
ground.
like on its little chubby lion legs. It pads over to you, Lark, and just kind of like squats down like a pug dog or something,
Oh, hey there, little guy. I give it a little scritch.
right in the cerebellum,
Yeah.
frontal lobe, and you hear Terry's voice in your head. It's kind of like I was expecting that to feel worse than it does.
Stay with your parathyroid gland.
Hey everyone,
Come on,
this is me now.
Why are you... Terry, you're a brain. You're a brain with little lion legs.
Hey Terry, were you always a brain?
No, I have an apology to make, guys. I've been keeping secrets from you a little bit. It's kind of a weird story. I didn't know how to react to it, but here goes.
Okay.
So a couple nights ago, I gave you guys a ride to Candle Lane, right? And we didn't really know each other very well, and I was like, these people seem nice, but I was ready to go on my merry way, and suddenly I was attacked by this creature, this brain with legs, and I'm pretty sure it killed me. It entered my brain, paralyzed me, and consumed whatever was in there, and it was living inside my body.
What?
And that was the end of me. My consciousness was still somewhere inside this thing after it consumed me. And I could still feel it, but I was very trapped. And all of a sudden, that night, there was this like psychic explosion or something. I could feel it. It was very shocking. I don't know what happened, but suddenly, this brain, the thing that was controlling everything, wasn't really there anymore. It like lost its touch, and so it was just me inside my head again, trying to get used to my own body again, knowing that I wasn't myself, and it was very disconcerting. And so I've kind of just been riding around in my cart the last night or two since then, just trying to figure out what's going on. And I didn't want to tell anyone because I thought I might get, like, you know, exiled or murdered or something. And I think these brains are working for the Xanathar, right? I think we've established that at this point.
Right.
So I didn't want to get in trouble with those guys. So I thought I'd just follow you guys around and try to get my bearings.
Oh my.
Well, you are welcome with us at any time, Terry.
Thank you. And then the brain kind of like scans the street. It's like, you know, do you guys have any like way to hide me or like a body that I could jump into or something? Because I feel like if somebody sees me out here,
Well, we've got
well.
your old body right here. Can you jump back into that?
you know, I can try. It's dead now, so it might.
Oh, it has to be a living body?
It paces over and it kind of disapparates again, and the body kind of shudders. And
Pretty wounded. Can we heal it?
well, it's not super wounded. It's just run through the heart, but the muscles are all still functional. It's just got a huge blood stain on its chest from where it's been laying in a pool of blood, and the head of the body kind of jerks up and is kind of puppet-like, and its eyes are kind of out of focus. But Terry's body talks to you again and says, "Guys, I think I can do this, but I mean, this body doesn't have long for the world, so maybe you might find a new one in a day or two, you know."
You just need any old body?
I mean, this is
young
kind of an
body,
ethical quandary, isn't it?
What happens if you jump into the body of somebody who's alive?
Well, I haven't tried
He
yet.
assumes their brain.
Yeah.
What?
And
Is that really what happens?
I mean, when the original devourer took my brain, you know, it was in complete control up until that night. So I don't know if it would be me or them or who would be in charge.
Or
I've never tried.
both. I
It's
kind
kind
of
of scary.
I think Zay is.
No, I don't need to let Terry inside of me.
But you know what? For now, I think I'm good in my own body. We got to find a way to cover up this blood, though. I mean, you guys have a T-shirt or something? Or
I'm here. I'll give him my SWOJ shirt.
I was gonna say, can't you druid craft that away?
No.
All right.
Here, it moves water around, right? Druidcraft, but not like a lot, just like a small amount.
Yeah, I could probably do something with. Maybe I could draw the blood out as a representation of water,
Or like
like
saturated
on
water or
Arrakis.
something. The body's water.
I give Terry's dead body my SWOJ t-shirt.
Nice. And it kind of needs a hand putting it on. It's pretty stiff.
But
How big is Terry? Could we carry this body?
We
Is
just
it
turned this into
wounded?
Weekend at Bernie's.
Half he's about your size.
how big was the brain? Was it brain-sized?
The brain was a little bit bigger than brain size,
A little bigger
but
than
like whatever
brain-sized.
magic
Okay.
it uses to enter brains, it kind of readjusts itself.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't
Right.
make any kind of sense.
It's magic, my friend.
Well,
Welcome to Waterdeep.
should we?
Conservation of matter? No.
So Zay looks around at the group and says, I think we maybe could use some time to recover. Should we head back to Trollskull Manor?
Yep.
Since there's no sign of Zilka.
And you are very close to Delzorn Lane and Trollskull Alley right now. You're the Godcatcher is right on the border of the North Ward, the Sea Ward, and the Castle Ward. And it's maybe 5 or 6 blocks away from Trollskull Alley, so it'd be just like a 5-10 minute car ride.
Well, the cart's right here.
Yeah, Terry, are you good to drive, or
technically.
should you maybe I'll drive and you can just ride in the back?
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
for now. Why don't you drive?
Okay.
And I'll just lay low, you know. I don't know
Okay.
that I was stabbed by a woman who looked a lot like you, Ilka.
It wasn't
we
Ilka
met.
though.
It wasn't me.
Glad
I
you
could tell
could
it
tell
wasn't
the
you.
difference.
He kind of laughed to himself. He's like, "Hey, we're kind of similar now. We're both kind of corpsey."
Welcome to the club.
Hey, I mean, you pull it off better.
There's a
though.
club?
I feel
I
kind
want
of
to be
weird.
in the club. No, wait.
It's kind of a one-way entrance to that club.
Alright.
And he says,
Someday.
you know, there might be other intellect devourers like me out there now, since that weird psychic blast a couple nights ago.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And he says now, you
So
know,
intellect devourers that are actually people rather than intellect devourers?
yeah, I don't know.
Got severed
Okay,
when
got severed.
Yeah, when we. So
I don't know, Terry. You have a pretty strong personality. You might not have other.
You're right, and it
Consciences might
happened
not
pretty
have.
quick after it ate me. So you know, maybe other people were more dominated. You know, I don't know how it works. Maybe you could talk to a wizard or something that might know more. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so let's take a rest and then maybe go visit the magisters, like Staggett, Captain Staggett suggested.
Yeah,
All right.
let's
You
head
head
back
back?
to Trollskull, and we can check on Scoot's mom too.
Yay!
So, the four of you hop onto Terry's cart. Terry's kind of lying down, covered in blood, with a fresh t-shirt. And Lark is...
Actually, maybe I shouldn't drive because I am nearly dead. I mean, nearly unconscious.
I'll drive.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got training in cart and horse
Sure.
management as a
That'd be
noble
great.
person. Yeah. So it's a short ride, and once you pull up into Trollskull Manor, all the shops, there's several shops within Trollskull Alley that are all kind of opening up, and you see kind of curious shopkeepers of different races. There's like a wood carver, carpenter type person. You see like an armor smith or a weaponsmith of some kind with two genasi out in the front opening up their stalls. There's a fire genasi and an ice genasi, and they kind of seem to be like parallels, and they're like these elemental humanoids, and they're like one has fiery hair and one has icy hair, and they're kind of regarding you curiously as you roll in. And there's various other shops that are still closed. But as you pull up towards Trollskull Manor, this big, it looks much nicer in the daylight. Like you've only seen it in the rain up till now, and it's kind of cleaned off. All the windows are still boarded up. But it's got this peeling coat of green paint, and the wood is very old and dark and lacquered, and it looks beautiful in the sunlight. And you see, standing in front of the front door is a dwarf carving some kind of a rune onto the front door. And next to this dwarf is a 10-foot tall shield guardian, a golem, a magical construct that's just kind of standing there with its arms crossed, watching you as you approach, silently and still.
What? They're carving something into Trollskull
Into the
Manor's
front door
door?
of Trollskull Manor's door, yes. And this dwarf is wearing the colors of the Order of the Watchful Magisters of Waterdeep, like a gray robe. So what do you do?
I stop the cart.
There's two horses that pull the cart.
Does the golem appear to be protecting the dwarf?
It seems that way, yeah. It's standing right next to her, is regarding you.
Who's feeling diplomatic?
I'm in real life getting a little drunk, so I'm not going to do that.
You're coming off of 2 rages, so it fits your character.
That's kind of, yeah.
I
Hey,
mean,
hi. What you doing there, dwarf?
And it's almost as if like she's like using a blowtorch and like kind of carving this complex rune into the door. Mm-hmm. And this dwarf turns around, a woman, older looking.
Oh.
Very wise, very poised, very stoic.
Yes.
And she...
I'm surprised by that, and from my clan, what my mom has taught me, I generally respect age, and so I'm like, oh, okay, hi.
Oh, very polite.
My demeanor changes. It's like I come up there, it's like, hey, we didn't know you're not the artist we hired. Is how I start, and then as soon as I see that she turns around, I'm like, oh, hi.
She regards you for a second, and then kind of approaches you with an air of knowledge and familiarity, and says, "You must be the new owners."
Kind of.
I peek out from behind Scoot and I say, "We are."
Well, it is my honor to meet you. My name is Ulcoria Stonemarrow of the Watchful Order of Magisters.
oh,
We've been wanting to talk to you.
Really?
Ms. Stonemarrow?
Well, I heard that you moved in last night, and I just wanted to check in on things. I know that some of the history of this manor, and I know that on the last night of Marpanoth, strange occurrences have happened historically. And so I usually come in just to check on the state of the spirits in the manor, but I'm not sensing them this year around. I'm sensing like something happened, so you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
It was a strange Marpanov, yes. We had an...
We banished the hag.
Yeah, we banished the hag.
You banished her. You banished old Esther.
Yeah, or we think something.
The children were very
We'll
unhappy.
find out next year.
She says, I've tried to banish that hag, but she keeps coming back every year, so I hope the best for you. But if you feel like, if you have some sort of animosity between you and her, then I think this glyph might help you. And she points at the wall and kind of taps it for a second at the door, and this glyph kind of flares to light, like a golden light, and fades, and you can't see it after that. She says, I just thought I'd carve a glyph of warding into your entryway. If anything magically good or evil comes in of a certain caliber, this glyph will light up and prevent them from entering. Or at least let you know that they're there. Nice. It depends on who's entering. But
how will it let us
It's like
know?
you read my mind.
it'll make a sound. It kind of depends on the individual. They might explode if they're very dangerous. But I have a habit of carving these things into this establishment.
Thank you.
Because of its history. However, it's been a while since the last time I stopped by, so I just thought I'd come in and see what was going on.
Oh my goodness,
Well,
thank you.
come on in. Welcome.
Yeah.
Leaf, we have a guest.
And the door opens of its own accord. And she kind of looks at you.
Zay strides in confidently.
Great. You take Terry with you too?
Yeah.
I'm not carrying Terry, so...
Terry and I will limp in together.
Terry kind of goose steps in with aplomb. His very jerky movements. With his t-shirt. And Coria just kind of raises an eyebrow, but doesn't say anything. She glances at the four of you and it's like, your business is your own. And she walks in and sits down and...
No judgment.
I'm gonna lean on Terry as we go in.
Okay,
so
yeah.
maybe it'll sort of mask his unnatural movements. Somewhat.
Right.
Zay peeks back out the door to check and see if the golem would like to come in too, or if I should bring him something.
It stays outside. It's a little bit too big.
Too big?
Yeah.
All right.
Also, would the golem be repelled by the ward now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of selective.
Okay.
So you walk in. The main tavern floor of Trollskull Manor could fit maybe like 40 or 50 people comfortably, like 100 people if it was like a crowded event. So there's several tables with chairs. They're all kind of in poor shape. But you can just pull up and sit down on some. And Leaf pulls up some glasses that he's cleaned from the bar behind the bar and pops out a glass of wine that looks very old and pours some glasses of wine. And they float over to you guys and land down the table.
Thanks, Leaf.
Have we seen the triplets? Squidly, Nat, Jenks? I know they're not actually triplets. But...
No, but as you
The
look
gang.
around for them, you hear like a thumping sound from upstairs and like several small footsteps running around and kind of yelling at each other. They sound like they're up to some kind of hijinks upstairs, but it's not clear what.
Okay. Should we find a place for Terry to rest? Never mind.
Well, I think, we can all just sort of sit down here for the moment, have some wine, talk to Miss Stone Marrow.
Yeah, so she sits down and says, "So, I used to own this establishment some 300 years ago or so. It's been a long time.
How many years ago?
300 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been around a while. I love the North Ward. I've been here most of that time. If you have any questions about the neighborhood, I guess, what are your plans for this place now that you're the new owners? I have a feeling you'll want to do more with it than that Volothamp character did. I don't think he really knew what he was getting into when he paid for the property.
You just gave it away.
Pretty much.
We could offer it as a prize. Anyone who can find the Stone of Gold will be waiting here. You can deliver it.
Do you say that out loud?
No. I mean, yes, sure.
She just glances at you and doesn't say anything. She's just watching you with a curious expression in her eyes.
Sorry, I was talking to SWOJ.
Yeah, that's
SWOJ.
talk.
You're SWOJ.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
I point to the t-shirt on Terry.
And she pulls out her pack and unfurls the day's broadsheet from the Waterdeep Wazoo. And not on the main page, but on the under the fold.
Below the fold.
Is an article with a rough drawing of the four of you that doesn't really look much like you. And an expose by Mara Milor, the reporter from the Waterdeep Wazoo, talking about SWOJ, the latest sensation from the Docks Ward.
Is it flattering?
It is very flattering.
What can we do to get above the fold, you guys?
I wanted to know just how off it is. What are the important details that she just like completely airballed?
It doesn't really say much about you specifically, besides that you're all from the Docks Ward. Did you introduce yourself as Lark Wavesilver to her? I'm not sure if you did.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it says the scion of the Wavesilver family has
no.
obviously had a hand in naming this organization.
Oh boy.
And she reached out to the Wavesilvers for confirmation of this, and they did not comment. But she did learn from Volothamp Gadarm in the Yawning Portal Tavern that they were the new owners of the Trollskull Manor up in the North Ward. And so it's very clear and present, like right up front in the article. This is where you guys might be staying. And,
she published our address.
and it describes right between Saradoon Street and Delzorin Way.
SWOJ gets doxxed.
Yeah, right. That's the worst. That's terrible. That's not ethical at
And
all.
for more questions, contact Lark Wavesilver at Wavesilver Manor or in Trollskull Manor. Wavesilver Estate, or go to Gaxley Grim Beetle at the Waterdeep Wazoo and come to him with any more.
Okay. I would like to check. Is there any mention of my apartment at the Splintered Stair?
There's not.
Oh, thank God. Got someplace we can dash to if we now we got to keep that. That's our secret hideout.
That's the secret.
Now that's the secret hideout.
This is our public.
Good thing it has cool posters.
This is our public headquarters in our
Speaking
secret
of-
hideout.
Oh yeah, do I still have the poster?
You do, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit bent. A little bit bent.
Oh,
I'm gonna hang it up on the wall.
Where?
Here, right on the main tavern floor.
Like behind the bar? Or just
Yeah,
like-
behind the bar.
Okay.
So, Coria,
Yes.
do you know anything of like wear magic by chance? Like
Where magic?
like when humans turn into animals? Do you know anything of that, or of the poisoning that might happen because of that, or who we should talk to if that's something that might be happening?
She
I'm
says,
asking for a friend.
My specialty is abjuration magic, which deals with the defense and protection
Oh, that makes
of the
sense.
person. However, I know that you could talk to the wizards of the Blackstaff Tower, or perhaps the Harpers. They travel all around the countryside and might know more about lycanthropes. I know that it usually manifests under the full moon. That's about the extent of my knowledge. I've never ran into a werewolf myself.
Do you know when the next full moon is?
Yes, it's in a week. You don't follow the
It's only
cycles.
what kind of druid are you, anyways?
Why do you ask, Zay?
I was asking for a friend.
She looks at the four of you.
Not me.
I have
not
more
me.
friends.
Yeah.
She has far more
She
friends.
has lots of friends.
Well,
Everyone's my friend. You're my friend now.
Yeah.
I'll carry you.
She kind of chuckles. She's like, you're very trusting. But I suppose thank you for the wine. That's a nice gesture.
Anything for a friend.
It is noon after all.
I have a
That's
question
supposed to
about. I have a question about intellect devourers.
Yes.
So we ran into this weird thing a couple of nights ago. I can't remember how many nights ago. It seems like months ago. But really, I think it was
Was it
just
2 nights ago? That's
Yeah.
what the article said.
Yeah, oh yes, 2 nights ago. That feels right now that you say it. We ran into this giant brain monster in the sewers, and it was like controlling people. And then we've seen brains running around. And we really aren't sure what's going on, and we thought maybe you, or at least I was thinking right now that maybe you would be able to help clarify some of these things for us.
She nods and says, I have heard reports from the Harpers in the district that there's been an uptick in intellect devourers across the city. So what that says to me is that the Xanathar Guild has a mind flayer or two in their employ, perhaps a whole colony, and they're using these mind flayers to infiltrate the upper echelons of Waterdeep. Now, I haven't seen one of these mind flayers or their minions myself, but I've heard reports over the last few days that they're, clearly judging by what's going on in the docks ward, they're really upping the ante. So watch out.
So hypothetically, so if there was an intellect devourer that took over somebody's brain, but then the mind flayer that was kind of controlling that intellect devourer was killed, like say a half-orc split it in half with a giant axe.
For example.
Hypothetically.
She glances at Scoot.
Whoops! I'm holding this giant axe.
Would then the connection between, because of mind flayer, the controlling mind flayer is dead, then what would happen to the intellect devourer that was in the mind of the person that that's controlling?
She says, what I know about mind flayers is that they usually are themselves slaves to a greater entity, the Elder Brain. And it depends on the link between these mind flayers, these intellect devourers, and the Elder Brain, which depends on distance, depends on magical energies, ley lines. I don't know the exact levels, but I think it would really be a case-by-case sort of thing.
Interesting. I have another question.
Yes.
I have lots of questions. My second question is about registering magic users in the city.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. How does that work? What's the deal with that?
That's the deal with airline food.
She glances at you and she's like, I'm not going to say anything. You can just talk to me. I mean, I get the drift that some of you use magic.
No.
Have you not registered?
I'm not a magic user, so I was asking for some friends of mine who haven't registered yet, but are very interested in doing so.
Yes, they could just speak to me.
Okay.
Hello, I would like to register.
Yes. I had a feeling. Well,
There's just a look about me that screams magic.
what's your knowledge? What's your experience? Zay, and what's your full name, by the way? I'll jot it down and I'll put it in our ledgers.
Zay.
It's X-A-E.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And what do you do?
I practice the druidic arts.
Where did you learn?
I don't recall.
Good enough for me.
Excellent.
Anybody else?
Hi.
Hi. I had a feeling.
Is it necessary that one register under one's full name?
Yes, it is.
My full name is Ilka.
She nods.
But you forgot about... Oh. Yes, Ilka.
I
says-
firmly and
The
gently...
renowned bard.
Ilka, may I ask a private question?
Yes.
I can see that you're reanimated or you're decomposing or something. I don't mean this in an offensive way.
None
This is
taken.
just, realistically. But I don't sense a true undead nature to you. I magically when I scried you, which I did. I'm sorry. It's my job.
Mm-hmm.
I sense that you were somewhat living still. You weren't a true undead. You know what that's all about? Can you explain it to me?
Oh, I've been trying to piece all of that together myself. I don't feel dead. I feel alive-ish. But I don't feel alive like I did before I died.
Would you say you are not yet dead? You can dance and you can sing. She doesn't say that.
Wow. Deep musical theater cut.
In
If someone were
fact,
to throw you onto a cart and say you were dead, you would say no.
I would...
You say you're
Correct.
not
I would
dead
not
yet?
succumb. I'm not dead yet.
But mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
Right.
Go through my pockets.
That's what I'll write down. Mostly
Nose
dead.
change.
Mostly dead. Interesting. Well, if you learn any more, I'd love to learn about the circumstances of your situation because
Gosh.
it seems
You and
pretty
me
unique.
both.
Yeah. All right. Well, I suppose.
Are there like dues or anything?
Of being a magic user? No, you
Yeah.
just have to register.
Okay.
We just like to keep tabs on everyone, just in case magical incidents happen.
Are there don'ts?
Are there don'ts?
Yeah.
Yes, don't use magic to harm. Don't use magic to ensorcel. If you charm someone or control their brains, that is against the code legal, and it will be a substantial fine, potentially time and amends farm, working off your debt society.
Oh
So-
God, how much time do I owe you? I mean, what?
Excuse me?
You yell out loud.
Yeah. Do you have something you'd like to explain, Zay?
Why
So
does
what-
this feel like confession?
If
You've charmed many people, haven't you? You
just the one.
an animal, or you talk to animals.
She sighs and pulls out a small pad. She's like, very well. I'll take your deposition. What is it?
I just wanted to be friends
Go on.
in the most expedient way possible. So I was
She cracks a smile. She can't help herself.
being very charming
To? To whom?
to one of the Wave Silver's servants. Does that even count? Lark, does that even count if he was just a servant?
No, he was also super rude.
I agree. But then he wasn't rude
sighs.
after.
Rude or not, I'm sorry, the code legal is the code legal.
I understand.
I will bring this up with the city watch and get back to you with a fine. But you're free to go as you will. I know where to find you, but this will probably be a fine of some kind, as well as perhaps restitution to the individual.
We get to hang out? I'll go hang out with him.
Very well, very well.
Okay.
I think you have to pay the help, is what she's saying.
Oh, maybe he'll want to come hang out at our clubhouse.
Well, I'll speak to Wave Silver House and get back to you all right? You said you worked for them?
Yes.
All right. Just as an aside, as DM, I think he worked for the Castellanters.
He did?
Yes.
Yeah.
For the
I
Wave
was trying to
Silvers.
find. Yeah, they were contracted.
But you don't have to say that.
I couldn't find it. No.
Yep.
Oh, for some reason I thought he was just looking for you.
Yeah, that family had been contracted by the Wave Silver family. They were,
Oh, the Castle Lanterns. Castle Lanterns.
Castellanter.
It's like morning cannon.
Nope,
Yes.
it's just Castle Lanterns now.
The that's neither here nor there. Yes.
Miss Elcoria, as long as you're here,
Yes.
have you experienced someone like me before who is undead but maybe not undead? I have many questions and not sure to whom I might direct them.
She froze her brow. She says, I've never met someone quite like you, Ilka. Usually if somebody's decomposing, that just means that, but not truly undead. That means that they're living, technically they're living, but their skin is either under some curse or some spell, or perhaps they were reanimated and the reanimation process just didn't really go according to plan, So I assume it's something like that. I mean, you're not a true undead, Mm-hmm. Otherwise there'd be many magical wards in the city that'd be tripped off by you as you pass through the streets.
True.
So, yeah, I don't know what to say. Necromancy isn't really commonplace in Waterdeep. It's frowned upon by most of the locals, so...
But some sort of doppelganger, maybe?
Well, doppelgangers are definitely a thing. We've been trying to crack down on them, actually. We know there's a cell of doppelgangers somewhere in the city.
What?
We met one.
You did?
She was my own, but looked completely alive.
And where was this?
On a statue.
Yeah, it was on the God Catcher.
On the God Catcher.
Yeah, we were up on the hand. I fell off. Also, that reminds me, if you could heal me in any way, I feel like I'm 1 point away from being unconscious again.
No, I fed you a bunch of good berries.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm 2 points away from being unconscious again.
I have a magic confession. I did slow his fall as he fell off the statue.
Oh, I mean, it's all right to use magic as long as it's, with consent. That's the whole point.
Well,
I
assume he consented to me stopping his death.
Yeah, I consent retroactively.
You don't need to confess every magic use to me.
Okay.
It would get quite overwhelming.
I can turn into a panther.
What? Well, that explains those reports in the article about the panther sightings in the sewers. So you use
It
magic.
felt appropriate. Sewer, panther.
I can't speak for all the City Watch, but I, for one, am in favor of forgiving magic use as long as it's for the good of the public. And
It
so
definitely was.
Yes, right. And so that's wonderful. I'm glad you can do that. Now, what were we saying? You wanted to learn about
Doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers.
An alive woman who looked like me tried to kill him by throwing him off a statue.
That sounds like a doppelganger.
Yeah.
I guess keep an eye out. It's really hard. It's really, if you see other people that seem out of place, you could cast Detect Magic to see if any of you know that spell to
Do
try
any of us
and
know that spell?
root them out. But otherwise, it's very difficult to tell a doppelganger from a regular person. So,
Although, if we see someone that looks exactly like Ilka,
Or
then I will suspect that they're
we should not separate.
Yeah.
We need a code word that only us would know.
Totally code word. Well, SWOJ. I mean, people now that was
everybody
in the
knows
paper.
that now.
That's in the paper.
that's pretty much the first thing I learned about you all.
I
She kind of chuckles when she thinks about it. And she says, "I noticed you have apparel, by the way."
Yeah. Would you like a T-shirt?
20 gold.
2
for 35.
Okay.
We could pay my fine with a T-shirt.
Yeah. We're hoping that
Which is gonna get big.
sales of merch will help cover all of our fines here in Waterdeep.
Who's your vendor? Who's your producer?
We're working with a family of halflings, actually. Yeah, down at the docks ward.
Although, really, we should go more
Yes,
local,
yes, it
right?
is.
We should talk to someone in our street. Trollskull Alley.
Yeah, we might be switching. We passed a bunch of interesting vendors on the way here to Trollskull and Trollskull Alley.
I'd recommend that. Yes,
Yeah.
the businesses in Trollskull Alley. I know many of them from my rounds in the North Ward, and they're all trustworthy people.
The Nike family.
Yeah.
The Nikes. Yeah.
The Nikes.
Nikes. N-I-K-E. Yeah.
The goddess of
Oh,
victory.
guys, just doing it.
Yes.
Of mass producing merch.
Yes. Sometimes they outsource.
He says no, but our rumors of doppelganger activity have mostly stemmed from the castle ward. So if that's where you saw it, that would make sense.
That does totally make sense. Okay, this has been incredibly helpful, Miss Stone Marrow. Is there anything else that we should know before we?
Well, she looks around. She says, I would love to see this old establishment return to its former glory. So if you have any plans of doing that, I would talk to the appropriate guilds the splendid order of carpenters and the Fellowship of Innkeepers, the Vintners, Distillers, and Brewers Guilds, the Guild of Butchers. I could send out fingers into my contacts and have them all get in touch with you over the next few days.
That's great.
Yeah, that sounds
I don't know
great.
if you have a source of
Would you
money.
like to invest at all? And we could all just make sure there's always a room here available for you.
Roll persuasion.
6.
6.
She furrows her brows and says, not quite. It's not really my place as a city watchman to be invested in a business, especially because there's another tavern right across the street, that might be looked upon poorly.
Favoritism.
Right. But, perhaps down the line, depending on how things go, we'll see,
All right, well, we can't thank you enough for the ward because we have 3 poor, tiny orphans living here who could benefit really so very much from someone investing in this business. Can I try again?
She says, "Oh, you mean Nat, Jenks, and Squidly?"
Yes,
I wouldn't call them poor. They really make the rounds throughout the entire city. In fact, I consider yourselves very lucky to have them around because they're quite adventurous and good orphans to know. Let's put it that way.
I do feel lucky to have them and to provide a home for them.
Trollskull Alley Irregulars. That's what I would like to think of them as.
Yes, the irregulars. I love it.
Well, I should be on my way. I've got the rounds to make. But if you need anything, my office is just down the street on the high road in the Watchful Orders office.
Okay.
So please reach out.
As to your offer to send your fingers into your contacts, or however you phrase that.
Sorry, the line.
But if you would,
Awesome.
we appreciate that. Absolutely, we'll take you up on your offer.
Certainly. Well, maybe I'll be back later this week.
Happy Marpinoff.
It's Uktar now.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone loves Uktar.
Oh.
All right.
Fingers in the contacts. That's the next song.
Should we get Terry set up and have a bit of a nap ourselves? Probably more of a nap.
Sure. And so she makes an arcane gesture in the air and actually teleports outside. It says, "Come on, Winston!" And the two of them kind of make their way down out the alley.
Winston the Golem.
Winston the Golem.
Does Terry's cart have a horse?
There's 2 horses.
Do they need anything?
Oh, that's a good point.
They do.
Stabling?
Well, there's actually a little kind of outdoor driveway next to the main door of Trollskull Alley. It kind of slopes down into this little alcove. And so that's kind of where he parked his cart, and they kind of have a little space there with a trough. It's made for 4 to 6 horses for guests, presumably.
Can Leaf take care of that?
Leaf cannot leave the building,
Okay.
but Terry can. And he actually has been doing that while you guys were talking. He kind of ambled back out there, and he was feeding them.
Perambulated.
Perambulated, exactly.
Good word.
So you take a short rest, so to speak?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
At least.
Or a long rest.
Yeah, can we?
Well, I guess it's kind of morning.
Is there anything urgent pressing right now, or?
The one thing is that the drow that you met in the Godcatcher said that he would be back at high noon the next day. So
Right.
that's on
today.
the schedule. That's the next day.
Oh,
This
that's
is still
tomorrow.
the same day.
Oh.
So
Well, let's
Rest.
rest. Yeah, let's take a long rest.
okay, so you all rest and recuperate.
Okay.
I'm gonna play this beautiful accordion music to rock us to sleep.
It echoes through the house.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I still have my temporary hit point, I think.
Scoot, you have that trinket from Deep Seychelles, right, from the shrine?
The dolphin. Was it a dolphin necklace or
bracelet?
pendant? Bracelet.
It's 2 dolphins intertwined.
Okay.
And just by having it and kind of meditating on it as you rest, you realize that magically what it does is let you breathe underwater and swim at twice your normal movement speed. As long as you're wearing it.
I have magic too now. Does it have a name?
It's a Deep Seychelles pendant.
Deep shut. Okay, thank you.
Or bracelet, as it were. Amulet. Trinket.
Bracelet.
Doesn't have a special name.
I'm gonna call amulet.
2 dolphin trinket.
Oh no. Deep Seychelles.
Deep Seychelles.
Token.
Token.
Nailed
Yes.
it.
Perfect.
I do English.
I think it's an anklet.
It could be an anklet.
It's not. It doesn't fit my ankle.
It does. It's necklace sized,
big
so it
calves.
fits your ankle.
But it's too big to one loop and not big enough to double loop.
It's got big calves. It's
worst.
dangerous.
Worse.
Yes.
Yeah, right in
Yeah.
the middle.
So it's like, I'm a middle. I'm a tweener.
A tweener.
I'm a tweener.
So as you're all resting, it progresses into the afternoon and early evening, and you're all kind of disturbed by a sharp knocking on the door.
Gosh, darn
didn't
it.
disturb our long rest. I already rolled it.
No, you all rested, but it was
Okay.
kind of just like a shorter long rest, like 4 or 5 hours.
It was
versus 8.
productive. It was
Enough
like
to
we
get
impacted it.
to get
Yes.
for
We
him.
were
Okay.
we were pretty tired. So.
Mechanically speaking, you're all set.
Thank you.
Zay hops out of bed because she's a morning person.
But it's
This
evening.
is role playing. She's a just wake up and jump out of bed person.
Yeah.
And then it runs down to peek. Is there a hole I can peek out of?
There is not. There's
Is there windows along the side I can peek out of?
no. There's kind of a coat room, like a cloak room.
Oh,
So there's actually like 2 doors, to the outside.
Oh, all right.
So you can go through the first one and kind of like
I
be in this
step
cloak
into the
room.
airlock.
Yeah, the airlock, and then there's still this banging. It's pretty insistent.
Okay. I if the door is not lit out, we have not have a warning, so I open the door.
And standing in front of you looks like a swarthy human.
Hello, swarthy human.
He's got a long beard. He's bald. He kind of has a scowl on his face, but kind of like a sickly smile. He's wearing very flashy clothing, like not as stylish as Zardo's sword, but definitely like trying to be that way, even though it kind of seems like it doesn't really fit him. And like wherever he bought this, like they told him it looked good, But it didn't. And he says, "Are you the new owners of this establishment?"
Why, yes, I am.
What are the rest of you doing at this point? Just kind of lurking, or
I'm getting out of bed still.
I'm polishing the buttons on my accordion.
okay?
I'm sharpening my axe.
Okay. And you say you are? Uh-huh. And he sticks out his hand, and he's got kind of a cold and sweaty palm.
Pleasure to meet you. I shake his
yeah.
sweaty hand and then I wipe
Yes.
it. I wipe it on my left
And he
hand.
shakes kind of longer than is appropriate. And he says, "My name is Emic Froon, and I am the owner of Froon's Brews." And he points across the street at this other establishment that's just around the corner, maybe like 40 feet away. And he says, "And I would like to make you an offer."
That I can't refuse?
Well, I would like to think so. You see, I have a vested interest in this establishment that you are now the owners of.
Excellent. We are looking for people to invest in interest.
He says, "I would like to purchase the deed to Trollskull Manor from you in order to open up a secondary establishment, an even greater Froon's Brews."
Right
That
across
sounds
the
like
street.
a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's awful.
Well, I want to capitalize on the market here. I think the North Ward is up and coming. What do you say? 150 gold pieces for the deed.
Well, that's more than I currently have. But I need to
He
consult
says,
with...
"Look, you don't look like the type that knows how to run a tavern. I do."
You do look like the type who knows how to run a tavern. Mm-hmm.
And you notice that it's going to be evening time and there are no patrons in his tavern nearby. It's empty. It's got a huge gaudy sign with like 2 beer mugs that are like moving up and down. And it kind of like has like a flickering like continual flame light that, not neon, continual flame that says Froon's Brews, Froon's Brews.
It really sucks that that's exactly what would bring Scoot into that place.
It kind of ruins the ambiance. Like it's sort of like the.
Is it like 70s Vegas?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like not as nice.
Froon's Brews.
Like
Tell you what,
they couldn't maintain it.
I will let my companions know about your offer, and if we decide to take you up on it or discuss it, we will meet you over at Froon's. And then I shut the door.
Froon's Brews. Froon's Brews!
It clearly says Froon's Brews.
And then you shut it.
Yeah.
And then I shut the door.
And he says, "Wait! I'm gonna wait out here! I need to know!"
Hey Zay,
I
who
go
was
back
that?
inside. It was the terrible owner from across the street. I think we should go buy a beer there. It looks very lonely. I think he just needs some friends, guys.
That's what he came for? He was asking for friends?
No, he wanted to buy the deed
Oh.
To Trollskull Manor?
to Trollskull Manor. He offered a whole 150 gold pieces.
That's ridiculous.
That's not what I said. I made him think that we might humor him.
Roll knowledge, say. Intelligence, I suppose.
Oh, intelligence? 10.
10. You know that even the simple glyph of warding on the door of your manor would usually run more than 150 gold pieces to cast.
Right.
It'd be like 200 to 300 to hire a wizard to do that. So, if that influences your decision at all.
Oh, I'm not taking him seriously whatsoever. I just don't want to completely shut him out just in case we need him for some reason.
Sure.
Then you all hear a voice that says, "I'm still waiting out here!"
Oh, he's still out there.
I go up to the door. I open it up. I say, "Go away. We don't need you."
Well,
His jaw drops.
Negotiations over.
He says, "I knew it. You upstarts. You're not even from the North Ward, are you? I will make my tavern."
I'm actually from the North Ward.
You. I recognize that attire. You're a wave silver, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
You tell him, Lark.
He says, "Well, I have friends in high places too."
What?
And he starts getting like all monologue-y. Like, Frood's Brews will be the greatest establishment in Trollskull Alley, nay, the entire North Ward.
Oh, wow.
And I will run you out of business until you sell.
Okay.
Bruce
How's things
Fruits?
going for you so far? How's Frood's Brews doing?
Fucking wonderfully.
That's great. Maybe you could have some tips for when we open up our tavern.
He says, "Yeah, spare no expense.
Oh.
Like I have." And at that, he turns around and marches away 40 feet. And turns around and glares at you from the door of his establishment.
I wave.
I yell bye.
And he says, "Frood's Brews!"
See you, neighbor!
And he storms through the spinny door. That is
Oh my
Spinning
God.
door!
it's a rotating door.
I think
That's
we should
the
become the
problem.
Swearingen
Everyone
of the
hates
North
those.
Ward.
It's easy if you're gonna throw somebody out, then it can just like spin. You don't need to throw them through a window.
But they come right back in,
Yeah, that's the thing.
depending,
If
you know?
If you're not careful, it just throws them right back in.
Can we hire a manager of Trollskull? Can we
Well, I was thinking maybe we could like have somebody come in and lease the space from us and run the tavern for us because we don't
And we
really know
could
how to
just
run a
have
tavern.
other-
But I want to make sure that it's somebody who really knows how to run a tavern.
right?
clearly he
As you're
doesn't.
talking, Taga comes down from upstairs.
Oh shit, Mom, you been here?
She's like, "Oh,
When did you get
I'm
here?
sorry. I've been sleeping all day. It's been, I've been through so much. I'm sorry. I sleep more than I used to, Scoot."
That's fine. I don't care.
I do. I give her a
How
big hug.
rude.
I give her a big
Large.
hug. Oh, hi, Tega.
Get the amount of
mind,
sleep. Get the amount of sleep you need to function.
if you don't mind, I was going to go see what's going on behind the counter here and maybe start cooking something up for dinner.
Have you met Leaf yet?
Leaf?
Yeah.
No.
He's employee of the month.
And
Employee of the month.
Wait, do we know how Leaf feels about competition?
About
Well,
Frood's Brews?
I think we
about
should
my mom back there cooking.
Well, as long as she was helping.
she and as she kind of arranges stuff, like you see cupboards opening for her, and like cooking implements are being like brought down from
Which
shelves.
has been happening this whole time, and she just
Well, and she just takes it in stride. Yeah, she's like, "So this is Leaf, I assume, right?" And she just kind of mumbles to herself, "Hello, Leaf. Nice to meet you. I'm Taga." As she starts to.
Okay,
Guys,
so this
I
is gonna
think
work
we found
out.
our dream team.
She says, "Scoot, if you could go perhaps fetch some fresh groceries. There's not much here. There's lots of liquor, but not much to eat."
Do you think
It's
Do you
a
think we
bar.
Do you think we could pay the orphans?
Could be so much more.
To be our runners? To be our gophers?
Are they ghosts? Are they real
The
orphans?
orphans?
No, they're real.
The three are
Live?
are living. That's an important question these days, isn't it?
Right? Everything
Well, how do you
blurs
define
together,
living?
Can't assume
right?
that's
You know,
actually
do
the case.
you want to get comfortable with labels like living and unliving?
And Taga softly mumbles to herself,
Great.
"You know, I used to cook back in my days.
You made
What?
a pie like 2 hours ago. It was huge.
Long before you were around, Scoot. I've been around a little bit, and I would be happy to help oversee things in this place if you wanted to open it up for guests and make some coin on the side.
I think that would be awesome, Tega.
To be honest, I don't really feel safe going back to the docks for it, so perhaps this is the best option."
Yeah.
By the way, where's Dad? If you don't feel like, is he there by himself, a human, just chilling? Because you were kind of the muscle in that apartment.
She kind of just looks down at her feet, looks back at you, Scoot, and says, "Simon, I'm sure he's all right.
Okay.
He's always in the thick of things, you know, working on new ships for the Waterdeep Navy, the Waterdevian military. So if anyone's safe, I think he would be. Honestly, I only see him a couple nights a month. He hasn't been coming home as often.
Aww.
He keeps very, very busy.
All right.
So if you'd like to stop by and say hello to him.
Okay. But you think he's fine?
Well, I suppose somebody should go check on him. But I trust him. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Those knaves that tried to attack me, I don't think they'd stand a chance getting to him. With all the Waterdeep city guard, the military, they have wards all around their establishments.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you don't want to go back there. You want to stay here and cook and clean.
Well, it helped to run a tavern.
Help to run a tavern, yeah. I don't want to be like an indentured servant.
No.
Just what you described.
I'm just saying, I'd be happy to help.
Okay.
And I'll send a messenger out to Simon and check in on him and let him know where we are.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, let's enlist the irregularless.
The irregulars.
Who are you saying?
I was trying to go with irregardless.
That
doesn't irregularless. Let's enlist the irregulars to be our runners.
Sure.
So that one of them can go check on Steve. What did you say
Simon.
your dad's name was?
Simon.
One of them can
Simon's
go buy
Sparkles.
some bananas.
Is that it? But it sounded like they kind of had a good deal going. Like what's?
Yeah, maybe they're not interested.
Yeah, maybe they're not interested.
Let's
to
ask
gauge
them.
their interest.
Right.
I run around trying to find the gang.
Yeah, and they're all kind of scattered upstairs doing some kind of crazy elaborate play with themselves. And so who goes up there? All of you or Zay? Or
I'm probably still downstairs with my mom.
I'll go up with Zay.
And you go up there, and they kind of you run into Nat first, the silent one, and she sees you, and then just kind of stomps and claps on the floor in some pattern, and the other two, their thumping around stops, and after about a minute, they all kind of assemble, and Jenks, the Great Wizard Jenks, kind of approaches you, and in a sanctimonious manner with his little lit up stick, is like, "What would you like from the three of us, the heroes of Trollskull Manor?"
We would like to enlist you for some heroic tasks.
Yeah, what do you want?
We need you to ensure the safety of Scoot's father.
Okay,
In
well,
the-
you need some more info, but sure.
In the dock's ward.
What are you going to pay?
And we need you to garner nourishment for the establishment.
You want us to run errands for you?
Absolutely. For gold.
There we go. And Nat kind of nods at Jenks and makes some hand gestures. And Jenks says, we'd be happy to help for a weekly pay of 10 gold pieces. You can't expect to see us here all the time, but we will get things done, whatever you need. You want to find this guy? You said Scoot's dad?
Yep.
Well, we already know where he is. We're on our way. We're pretty well connected, so, if you just need anything. I mean, shopping for groceries, not really our thing, but, knowing where the best groceries are, hell yeah.
That seems...
Have you met Scoot's mother, Taga, downstairs?
Yeah, we said hi to her earlier when she was rummaging around some of our stuff, and, we told her to stop, but she seems nice.
Nanny Taka.
She is planning to be here and be cooking.
I like the sound of that. Well, we will surely be sticking around then for a bit. Oh, yeah.
She's a very good cook.
10 for the
pies.
trio? 10 gold for the trio?
Yes, for our group.
All right. What
We
about...
don't have a name yet. We gotta think of one. Something better than SWOJ. Sorry.
What are their names?
Say pouts a
Squiddly,
little.
Squiddly, Nat,
Nat and Jenks.
Jinx. So 3 orphans living in a manor taking charge of all of the goings on, that would be highly irregular, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, this is Waterdeep. Anything goes.
I was trying to get him to glom on to your chosen nickname, Lark.
The irregulars. To the Trollskull Alley irregulars.
Nat is just glaring at you at this point. Not hostile, but really critically.
So what about 5 gold and all the food you can eat?
No, our conditions are pretty straightforward, Zay.
All right, then you're paying for your
For
food.
a week, 10 gold.
I
Three
have
of us, man.
I have 9. That's it. I've had 9 for all the time.
He says, "Look, I'm sure if you get this place going, sell some drinks, sling some brews, you'll make it back in no time. You might need to take a
3 of
loan
them,
from
that
somewhere,
might be okay.
but get it going, right?"
I think it's worth it.
We've
Three
seen
kiddos that can accomplish pretty much
we've
anything.
seen far less capable people open up taverns and start making money, and he kind of like indicates like the window like across the street. He's like, I'm sure you guys can handle it.
That guy actually makes money?
I guess I assume. We don't really stop by there very often. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, we got that impression.
Yeah.
I imagine Nat's the one who said that, but no.
Right. Signing just terrible things. Yeah. Yeah. So you all settle down. Taga and the orphans, and maybe some of you kind of go out into the streets. And there's no like food vendors in Trollskull Alley. There's just a bunch of kind of craftsmen and local businesses. But you do find some nearby on the high road, all the different stalls with farmers coming in from Undercliff to sell their wares. So you find dinner, and you all have a peaceful night for once. Resting in Trollskull Manor. The orphans join you, and Taga joins you, and you have a really great dinner. So the next day, you all get up. Do you want to do anything before noontime, or just kind of lay low for the time being? Do you want to take a break and then keep going? Let's take a break. Badoom. Music. Cue. So, where we left off, everyone was sleeping peacefully. However, you were all kind of woken up intermittently throughout the night by the sound of skittering and things moving around in the night of this building.
I was just going to ask if that was still a thing.
Yep, it is, absolutely is, especially at night.
So, does it sound... It sounds very similar to the tower in the Godcatchers.
Mm-hmm. Just like rodents in the walls.
Skittering in the night.
Yep.
Track 7.
Skittering in the night. Skittering in the night. Yeah. And when you wake up, you feel very refreshed. And as the day approaches noontime, you kind of spend some time, I assume, cleaning up the establishment, unboarding the windows,
talking to whatever innkeepers order and vendors or whoever it is that
Stops by from
Miss Stone Marrow sends back to us to talk about preparations.
So over the course of the morning, they're pretty punctual, and before you get too out there with your plans for this place, they're all wanting to catch you and incorporate you into the standard model of things for the city. They don't want rogue businesses that aren't unionized. And so there's a few different guild reps that all come to talk to you and explain to you their fees and what they provide. And to metagame a little bit, it sounds like in order to renovate the tavern completely to a really nice, fully functioning tavern, it'll cost about 1,000 gold pieces, and it'll take about 12 days to make it really nice. And the guild licenses and contracts themselves cost about 250 gold pieces total up front. That's not a recurring fee. Correction. 250 gold pieces up front for all the different guilds, and then there's a recurring fee of about 10 gold per 10 day. For the guild licenses and whatnot.
So how many days are in a 10-day?
10. So when I said a week earlier for the orphans, what I meant was a 10-day.
It's like a fortnight.
Yes, it's right 14. Between a week and a fortnight.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, you'll make profits based on that if you invest in it. So
Okay.
we'll just kind of metagame that as we go.
Okay.
For your gold income, if you choose to do that. So what do you guys want to do?
We'd have to take out a loan or something, right?
Right.
Well, but did all those conversations take us up to about high sun?
Yes, they did. There have been at least 10 different reps that all came in kind of from the early morning onwards. There's a Broxley Fairkettle from the Fellowship of Innkeepers. There was Hammond Craddock from the Vintners, Distillers, and Brewers Guilds.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I better start writing these down.
No,
Can you say that
I'm
again?
not
I'm
at
not
all.
going to take... I'll get those later.
There was Broxley and Hammond. There's also Justin Rask.
Justin, how
with
are
a
we
Y.
ever going to remember that?
With a Y.
Yeah, he's from the Guild of Butchers. He's a dead-eyed and slack-jawed humanoid who just kind of likes to act really tough. He's covered in scars.
As all Justin.
But he's very businesslike.
With which guild was Fairkill?
Fairkettle was the Fellowship of Innkeepers.
And Hammond?
Hammond was with the Vintners, Distillers, and Brewers Guild, the VDB.
Oh my god.
He had a young scribe named Ginny, a female tiefling, who took notes on everything that he said. He talked to you about some of the new spirits that are going around. The Stout Heart Wine is all the rage in the city ever since Zardoz Zord started drinking it. Now, like, everyone in Waterdeep wants to buy the Stout Heart Ale, so they're doing really well. They're actually starting to outcompete the Zubers, who run the main vintnery.
Well, gosh, if Zardozord drinking this booze gets it popular, what if he came and visited our tavern? We could probably get him to stop by.
That's true.
And unless any of you have special agendas you want to pursue, then come high noon, on the dot, there is a short rap on the door.
That's probably Felrecht. I rushed to the door.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, you probably have the doors open there.
Oh, yeah.
So Felrecht is standing there in sort of a disguise. Like, Felrecht steps in, and you can tell it's this drow by the posture and the poise that it had from the Godcatcher. Mm-hmm. But it walks in and touches a ring on its wrist, and this illusion kind of fades off of it, and it suddenly, before you, is this tall male drow with really beautiful clothing, with like guns strapped to its chest, and he says, "Good day to you all."
Welcome. Hello.
That was amazing.
Thank you. One must disguise oneself when necessary in the city of Waterdeep.
Is that like a spell? How did you do that?
Yes, this ring here.
Oh, can I have it?
Nice to meet you too, Lark. I'm sorry, but it's necessary. If I was seen walking around in the streets,
I suppose.
it would draw a lot of attention.
I walk over and close the door behind him so that we can speak privately and invite him to the bar.
Yes, he thanks you.
Welcome to Trollskull.
Thank you. I must be honest. You deserve to know. There are parties beyond the walls of Waterdeep that are paying attention to you, such as my organization.
Oh.
Who do you work for?
I work for Bregan Derth, a company of drow mercenaries. We're sort of outcasts, the much derided and discarded castaways of the great houses. We have a vested interest in Waterdeep, and so when we heard of your activities in the Docks Ward, we started tracking you.
Probably because of the article in the paper, huh?
Before that, actually.
Oh, whoa.
Yes, our sources are good. So I just wanted to stop in and pay my regards and let you know that we were watching, and I'll probably be stopping by again in the future.
What are your vested interests in Waterdeep as outcasts?
He says, well, let me be clear. We're outcasts from Menzo Baranzan, the great drow empire in the Underdark. Mm-hmm. We have no connection to them anymore. I personally, I would rather never face another drow outside of Bregan Darth again. Bregan Darth. But we want to see the city prosper and flourish.
How did you come to find yourself in the statue with all of the people captured from Scoot's ship?
I was tracking a lead. There have been rumors circulating that some of the nobles of Waterdeep have been taking part in devil worship.
What?
Well, clearly the rumors are true. However, I was taken by surprise and taken prisoner. So I thought that was the end until you came along.
So were you on the Sea Plum?
No. No, I was attacked in the streets.
Oh, and taken to the statue just like, okay. Along with it. So were you there when the Sea Plum sailors were brought in?
Yes. Yes, I was already there.
Is one of those rumored families the Castle Lanterns?
The Castlanters?
Yeah, the Castle Lanterns.
He kind of glances at you. He says, I wouldn't be surprised. There are many families complicit. But I don't know what's true anymore, so that's what I was trying to discern.
Did you think that there was devil worshipping materials on the Sea Plum?
I had no reason to track the Sea Plum. Honestly, okay. I don't know what was going on that ship.
Because I know the Wave Silver family had goods on the Sea Plum, so it's good to know that maybe they're not suspect.
Well, that cultist that you killed had the Wave Silver crest on its chest. I saw that. So I honestly, that's probably the most concrete lead that I've seen so far. Assuming that lapel was genuine and not just another trick, one family attempting to throw another one under the bus, so to speak, under the dray.
Do I remember anything about my family being involved in devil worship?
Devil worship? Roll knowledge. Intelligence.
All right.
History.
5.
5. Nope. As far as you know, everything is over the table with the Wave Silvers.
I don't remember anything about my family. Any sort of devil worshipping, Felrect.
How much do you really know about your family's history?
I have a pretty great memory.
I back him up on that. Yeah.
Yeah?
True.
Well, let me put it this way. The noble houses of Waterdeep have been accusing each other of devil worship and even more heinous crimes for centuries. So, I wasn't sure what was true until our experiences yesterday. And now I think my only lead is the Wave Silver House. So, if it's all right with you, I'll be checking back in. I would warn you that the other members of Bregan Dareth don't know that I'm visiting you right now.
Oh.
To the best of my knowledge.
Would they be angry if they found out?
They may be. They're pretty secretive.
Okay.
So this secret stays between us. If I learn that other nobles or other parties in Waterdeep are aware of our connection, then our relationship will have to end.
Okay.
Okay.
Are there any other members of Bregan Dareth whose name starts with a Y?
Oddly specific question.
Well, somebody was watching out for us, and they sent us a note, but it was just signed with Y.
I can actually answer that for you.
Oh.
That was your friend, Lark. Yagra. Yagra
Oh,
Stonefist.
Oh.
Yes.
Thanks, Yagra. Do you know Yagra?
I know of her. I've never met her.
Okay, how do you know that that's who sent it?
Because I know that she was stalking the rooftops of Waterdeep the other night with one of her Zentarim contacts.
Interesting. That's super helpful. Thanks, Felrect.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps I'll see you again.
Yeah, and
Should
how
be
can we
hope
contact
so.
you?
I can't answer that question for you.
Oh.
I'll contact you.
Okay. You'll contact us. All right.
We have a spare sending stone.
I was gonna say the same thing. Good call, Zay.
You mean Terry sending stone?
Yeah.
He says, well, I could take it. I mean,
I
can't promise to always answer, but I can listen.
Although maybe Terry wants it still.
That's a good point, since he's not actually dead. Yeah, we better leave it with Terry.
Terry's not around. He's just sleeping. So it's up to you.
Let's not give away Terry's sending stone yet.
Okay. So with that, Felrect does a very polite bow, graceful, dancer-like, and then walks out the door.
Zay practices mimicking that same bow.
If we were gonna skip ahead a week, there's really nothing that would change because we don't have 1,000 gold to put.
That's what I was thinking too.
Right. So you need an investment of some kind in order to actually change things. You need a
You got any
loan.
rich friends?
A lot, but I'm on the outs with all of them.
We could sell your Ratman poster. Zay immediately regrets saying that based on the look in Lark's face.
Lark
which
is
was
stricken.
Have we saved anyone wealthy who owes us a favor?
Yeah, we have. Never ever.
Yeah, Floon and his friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Let's
should
go
check
find
in
them
with
and
Floon.
see if they'll invest in
But
us.
I still want to meet Nim in real life. On the boat.
Eye catcher.
The eye catcher.
As you're speaking, there's another knock on the door, a softer one this time. The door is closed from when Felrec left.
Man, we are popular.
I think Felrec came back. I'll go get the door. I open the door. Welcome back!
Before you is not Felrec. It is a smaller individual, a half-elf woman.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were someone else.
Cane. That kind of nods at you, and then looks over your shoulder and says, "Is Scoot in there?"
Hi, Leah.
Yeah, he's right here.
Great. I'm coming in. And this,
That's Leah.
and she brushes past you, Lark, and says, "I'm looking for Scoot and also Zay. Scoot, is she with you?"
Hi.
She never really goes away.
That's you.
He said with deepest pleasure.
So this half-elf kind of breezes in. She has a cane, but she's barely limping. She has black hair and purple eyes, very distinct features. And
She lived where I lived?
she lived in the Falconmere Manse, yes, which is the home of the
Okay.
Emerald Enclave, which is like the main druidic presence in Waterdeep. I mean, they manage the parks in the city, and she was staying there after she was attacked by Xanathar, I thought was what Scoot knows. She walks up to you, Scoot, and says, "Why weren't you there when the sea plum sank, Scoot?"
I've had a weird couple of weeks. Just
Yeah,
so
so has the crew.
I helped them. I'm on the ends with that with a dragon now.
Was him being on the boat part of the plan?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been attacked by brain creatures. I killed a couple brain creatures. I'm friends with a brain creature now. There's been a lot of weird things going on.
A dragon.
Yeah, there's
Scoot.
Yeah.
This is not like you. These people you're hanging out with
Are
Crazy
awesome.
witch.
are SWOJ, right?
Yeah, SWOJ. I hold up my hand to give her a high five.
She cautiously gives you a high five.
And I motion towards the merch booth where there's a
She kind of
t-shirt hanging
softens
up.
as you guys are talking about this. She's like, okay.
The merch booth.
T-shirt, bracelet, CD.
There's like one bloody t-shirt. And that's it. No, you gave that to somebody. You gave that to Alcoria, didn't you? Or no?
Well, Terry
Yeah.
has one on.
Okay.
Yeah, Terry's, yeah.
So there's a couple more that you made.
That seems to be canon now.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
I like the idea of Terry standing there, two, eternal flames, shining lights up at him at across angles.
Like an N64
does he need to
And
shot.
him with a mannequin pose.
Buy or sell.
But, so I've been busy. I'm sorry. I don't know what I would have done.
No, it's all right. Thank you for taking me to the Emerald Enclave.
No problem. The rest of the
That's
cruise.
where I know you from.
Yes. Yeah, you were staying there too for a time, weren't you?
I was.
What brought you there?
I was drawn there by how beautiful and peaceful it was within this large, crazy city. I miss it. I wish I could go back. But luckily, Lark saved me. And now I'm bound to him.
That's ominous, but I kind of know the feeling. Listen, Scoot, I was seeking you out because the Emerald Enclave is looking for help.
Okay.
And I want to help them.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be throwing my lot in with them for the time being since
Melanor?
the sea plum is sunk.
Melinor's still doing good?
Melanor Fellbranch, correct.
Yeah.
He's sort of the warden of the estate.
Melinor's the one I know because I left
Leah there
Leah
him.
with, yeah.
Yep.
You know
Okay.
Eleanor too?
He says, the Emerald Enclave is looking for help. We received a message from the Stoutheart family of halflings in Undercliff. They're being persecuted by scarecrows in the night. The scarecrows are attacking their winery. Their grape trees and their workers are being injured and destroyed. And the Emerald Enclave doesn't really have anyone they can send. It's just Melanor and myself and the animals of the city. So I was wondering if, since you two have a connection, if you'd be willing to help out. And maybe the four of you, now that you're established, we could offer a reward.
She knows all of my things. We're going to help the Emerald Enclave by killing scarecrows to save wine.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our fee is very reasonable.
I'm sure. What do you have in mind?
Probably 1,225 gold pieces. 250 gold pieces is roughly.
She's like 1,000 gold pieces. The Emerald Enclave isn't really a financial body, so to speak. However, I bet you can negotiate with the Stouthearts if you want them for some sort of a financial reward.
Okay.
The Emerald Enclave is more involved in magical aid, knowledge, safekeeping of things and people.
Yeah.
We preserve. We don't.
No, that's a good
fund.
Yeah, we wouldn't of course charge the Emerald Enclave. That's definitely not what I meant.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it was the Stoutheart family, and they're a dwarf family or a halfling?
Halflings.
Halflings?
Undercliff? Someone else came from Undercliff as well.
And they're being attacked by what?
Scarecrows.
Oh, I thought you said... Okay, scarecrows.
Scarecrows, enchanted beings possessed by dark spirits.
Yep, I'm all about this.
So
Like
do they naturally become possessed, or is this perhaps a plot?
I would say it's most certainly a plot.
It's most certainly a plot.
Yes, these things don't just happen.
So we'll have to figure out who their enemy.
Could be a demon, could be a ghost or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're good at dispatching ghosts.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Scoot, these people are great. I don't usually say this, but you've done well.
I know.
Nice to meet you. I'm Lark. Lark. Nice to meet you, Leah.
Leah.
Yep. Lark, Ilka, Zay, Mom.
So does Leah have...
Terry.
I pull Scoot aside a little
Leaf.
bit.
Entourage is growing.
3 kids.
Does Leah have like a tavern running skill set by chance?
No.
What did she do on the ship? Oh.
She was
She
the first
ran the
mate.
ship.
Yeah,
Well,
she
she's-
says,
well,
I
that-
was the first mate on the Sea Plum for a long time before I was put out of commission by agents from the Xanathar Guild.
Seems like a first mate would make a great manager of a space.
Perhaps, let me think about it. For now, I feel very indebted to the Emerald Enclave, and I want to spend some time meditating and being with them. I've been building a deeper connection to Deep Seychelles, my goddess, and I'd like to keep that going.
I'm sorry to hear about the sea plum.
Thank you. What happened to the crew, by the way?
We saved them!
Some.
Where are they?
As far as we know, still back on the hand. I can't remember where they went.
Back on the
We met them on the.
hand.
They were on the
ran
shore.
into
It's
the
Scoot.
Dockward.
They were on the shore at the dockward. We ran.
Oh,
into
the rest of them. I thought you meant the ones we saved.
those.
Yeah, those ones were back up there still. Last you heard.
Yeah.
Just
We
left
went.
them
We
there.
went to there and we didn't find any bodies or anything like that.
After we climbed out.
Oh yeah, whatever the three. Yeah, the three that we got.
That we saved from the...
There were 4, yeah.
We released
Was
out
there
of the
4?
cages.
I thought one of them was the drow, or was there 5?
4 and the drow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where they are.
We set them free.
We let them out. I had to jump off the giant hand to save Lark and to revive this zombie.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really want to run a bar, Scoot, but you know what? I can think of at least 10 to 20 sailors who might be looking for work.
Okay. There we go.
That's a good point,
Do
Lisa.
they work cheap?
Well, we know they do, right? And they're probably desperate too. I mean,
All
good
right.
people, but I think Pog would probably be better suited to something like this than running a ship, to be honest.
Yeah. And if we can get him an aviary here, he'd be like really into that too.
Yeah. I mean, there's already crows roosting up there.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. We'll take it into consideration.
Sure.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Where's Undercliff? I don't know. This is outside the world.
Yes, Undercliff is to the east of the city. There's a road that comes down from the Northward Gate, winds down the side of... So it's sort of like a 100-foot cliff leading from the eastern wall of the city down to Undercliff. And from Undercliff extending eastward for at least an hour or two of travel, there's all kinds of farms and vineyards and breweries and kind of like the infrastructure, the breadbasket of Waterdeep.
Okay. So would we know where to head to get to the Stoutheart family?
Yeah, and she gives you directions.
Okay.
It's right off the main road.
Great. Does Leah leave, or she's gonna...
She'll stick around for a bit and have a drink. Catch up with Scoot.
Cool.
Leah, what did you say about crows roosting up there?
Yes, there's all kinds of birds that are living up in the attic right now and up in the tower. You didn't see them? I mean, they're like flying in and out all the time.
We should maybe go look at these birds.
Do you suspect foul play?
That's a callback from the last show.
Yeah!
Are you so pleased with yourself?
Yeah.
No, I feel like we've had a couple interactions with birds, and maybe them freely coming and going might be worth checking out if they are, in fact, only avian birds.
Sure. Maybe we could enlist some owls to eat those rats in our walls. We should get a cat. We should invite the cat couple over. Would that be rude?
That's probably... Yeah. That might be offensive.
Leah's like, yikes.
You can't just say that.
I'm still learning about water Davian
Davian,
customs.
Yikes.
Okay, back one point, we should get a cat.
Yeah.
Also,
Leah says there are several cats that live on the Falconmere estate. I could probably send one over.
nice.
Yeah.
Can you send Fluffy? I always liked him.
Oh, certainly. Fluffy? Yeah.
Is that his name?
Good old cat.
Yeah.
Name?
It's actually Fluffstopheles, but he goes by
Oh, Fluffstopheles.
Mr. Fluff.
Mr. Fluffstopheles.
Oh, no, never.
So how have you been feeling? Do you still have cold blood? Cold? More cold. Are you still feeling cold, Lark? From our last adventure?
Am I? Does my blood feel any
It
weirder?
doesn't feel any weirder at this point.
I'm feeling fine. I feel great, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you know about that? Maybe you mentioned it.
Oh, well, I think, you didn't really
Yeah,
mention it.
because
did
I
the
had Scoot
balm.
lick the blood and...
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and we did the
thing.
balm of the summer court, and I warmed him up, but he was still
Yeah.
feeling cold.
Okay.
That's a good point. I might not know that.
Well, I'm feeling much better. Thank you. Thanks for the good berries. That helped a lot.
Leah's just going to stick around until you guys decide on a course of action or something, then she'll take off and go her separate way.
I think we should go to Undercliff.
I agree, but I'm down with checking out the tower first if that's something we can just add it to our list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you march on up to the tower?
Yeah.
And
I'm looking at birds, looking to see if there's anything not normal bird behavior.
Okay, so you go up the ladder to that tower where you found Nat the previous night, or 2 nights ago. And it's a really nice view of the alley. It's like one of the highest points in the alley, so it's kind of evening time. You can see the shops closing up. It's afternoon. Sorry, it's the next day. And as you climb up the ladder, several crows take off from where they're roosting on the railing of this tower. But you can see from up there that on the attic of the house, of the main manor itself, there are various like gutters and crenellations where there are other birds perched. Not a lot, but maybe like 10, 15. You do recognize that one wild-eyed pigeon who's been a recurring visitor, and his like neck and head are like almost all completely featherless at this point. Like there's barely a couple hanging on, and he kind of like whips his head around, just glares at you with one pigeon eye, very fiercely from like 20 feet away. The rest of the crows just seem to be doing crow stuff. They're just pecking around and cawing, you know. But this one pigeon is definitely glaring at you.
Is the pigeon that was from the Sea Maid's Fair, but was from the Sea Plum? That
yes.
pigeon?
Sally, was it?
Sally.
Yeah,
I
Sally.
was trying to look it up.
Yeah.
Why is Sally here? Lark's not up there, so he doesn't ask. But that was Justin wondering.
Is this the one we should nickname Hannibal?
Yeah.
Because she likes to
Yeah.
eat eggs.
I recall that one.
It's kind of doing that, like that gopher meme from 10 years ago, like just glaring at you. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
I approach Sally the wild-eyed pigeon.
So you're in the tower, and it's sitting on the roof, so you have to like jump from the tower to the roof. They're like separate a little bit.
That's cool with me.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So you crouch up like Spider-Man and kind of launch off onto the attic, and Sally just regards you until you get up close. Mm-hmm. What do? It doesn't move, it's just staring you down.
I greet it.
Well, dog, you've caught the car. Now what do you want to do?
In hindsight, you probably should have invited the person who can speak with animals.
I extend my arm and hope that Sally will come and sit on my wrist and come
Roll
back
animal
inside
handling.
with me.
It's
Wisdom.
wisdom, yeah.
8.
8. Sally does not jump onto your arm. Sally just glares at you and then whips its head around the other way and glares at you with its other eye, even wider than the first one.
Pigeons are creepy.
Hey, Zay! Zay!
Is it
Can Zay
within
hear
shouting
me?
distance?
Well, I guess the door's open and the windows are open, yeah. You can do that.
I run outside and I look up at the tower. Ilka?
This is gonna sound crazy. Can you talk to this pigeon, my new friend?
Yes? I cast Speak with Animals with one of my precious spells.
Uh-huh.
And then I coo up at Sally, a greeting. Yes. And something to... Can I tell from this far that how decrepit she looks? Something calming and an offer of food.
All right, and Sally kind of leans over the edge, looks at you, and then cries out, "I don't need food. I'm just fine. Don't mind me, just old Sally on the rooftop. I see you down there."
I see you up there.
You just hear this pigeon like cawing madly.
It's working. It must be
Yeah.
working.
We're so glad that you've joined us at Trollskull Manor, I coo.
Yeah, it's really great. You have lots of crows. They're kind of assholes. Do you have any more eggs?
Yes.
I'd like some of those.
Come on down.
And Sally kind of slumps off the rooftop. It kind of flutters down, lands on the ground, kind of hops back up and marches into the tavern. It's not flying anymore. It's just her wings are kind of beat up.
All right.
And you see this happen, Ilka.
Come on down, Ilka. We're going to make Sally some eggs.
And so you all see this pigeon stride in authoritatively into the tavern. And it's like, all right, where's the eggs? I really could go for some dragon egg if you have some of that. No? That was a joke. That was a pigeon joke. Perhaps a crocodile egg?
I will check in. Yega, our finest eggs for Sally here. Please, Yega.
Tega.
Tega.
Oh, it's Taga,
All
dear.
the Yegas. All the wives.
And Taga's looking
I was thinking of
behind the counter,
Yeager.
and Taga's like, oh no, many of these eggs have been chewed on.
Sally, have you already been inside?
Sally says, no, I mean, yesterday. But this is new. It looks like, actually, there's like trails of like broken eggshell and egg yolk kind of like trailing from where the crates of eggs were to like the walls, like holes in the walls and stuff.
We have to get rid of these mice.
Yeah, and Taga reaffirms that. She's like, there's definitely some kind of pests in here, you lot.
Well, when Mr. Fluffstopheles gets here, that'll help.
Mr. And Sally's like, Mr. Fluffstopheles!
Yes!
No!
You know Fluffy?
Not him!
Oh, no.
Oh no!
My arch nemesis! He's the reason I don't come back to Waterdeep.
Oh, no.
He's the reason why I was riding on a ship.
No, you
that
two are
sounds-
going to be friends now. I'll just give you a proper
My
introduction.
featherless body.
But we have to get rid of the vermin somehow. A cat is the best way to do that.
Are you saying this?
In English?
Sally's not-
In common?
Say, would you relay to Sally that the vermin are becoming a problem, and if they eat all the eggs, there will be none to feed to Sally?
Sally, have you been staying on our roof for some time now?
No, just a day or two.
Okay. Have you noticed anyone anyone suspicious from the roof?
She said, I have noticed that there are definitely pests entering and leaving this building from the outside.
Oh.
They come along the street. They crawl their way in somehow. They probably took your eggs. And here we are.
And now I have no eggs to offer you. I am ashamed. Perhaps Bruce Fruins has some.
Actually, you're right. They usually have lots of wasted food.
Oh.
That's one reason why it's nice to live here. Along with all those crows, swarthy fuckers.
Yeah, do those crows normally live up there?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
There's crows all over the place. And with that, Sally starts to march back up. She's like, well, there's nothing here. If you don't mind me, I'll be on my way.
All right.
That was weird. Is that the same pigeon that was from the sea plum?
Yeah.
That was Sally. She's been roosting on our roof and has been observing a number of pests coming in and out of our building. We really should do something about that.
Did she say what kind of pests?
I was meant to clarify and then forgot.
And Leah clinks her wine glass with you, Scoot, and is like, classic Sally, right? She's taking charge.
Sally being Sally.
Yeah. I love that pigeon.
Should we head to the Undercliff? Should we look for the vermin?
I feel like those are two pressing things, yes.
Yeah.
One's going to get us money, but we have to get rid of the pests before we can do anything else. But do we need money before we can get rid of the pests?
Catch-22. Scoot, what do you think?
Let's go kill scarecrows.
Okay, let's go to Undercliff.
right.
Leah nods. And she takes off towards the west, towards Falconmere Estate.
Right.
Meanwhile, the four of you use Terry's cart
Yeah.
with Terry.
Yeah.
I think we should bring Terry.
How's
Yeah.
Terry
If he's
feeling?
up for it.
He's getting more and more stiff as time goes by.
I wonder if we could put him in a scarecrow. Does he need a real body? Or could it be a simulacrum? Simulacrum.
Terry,
I've never
do you need
said
a
that word out loud
simulacrum?
before.
He says, I think I need a real body. I mean, this is a real brain type thing.
I suppose.
So
Well, but we might be able to find some real bodies for you at the Undercliff.
Uh-oh.
it's really ominous, but
I feel like there might be some.
yeah, I'll come along. Let's go.
Terry, it's time to accept your situation.
I agree, my friend.
We're gonna get you
We
something.
need to restore the balance.
Yes. All right, so you make your way out of the north gate of Waterdeep, down the road along the eastern cliffs until you get to the main thoroughfare leading out of Waterdeep, and the rolling grasslands of Undercliff continue to the east. There's scattered forests, and eventually you make your way to the outside of what looks like a farm. It's got like a low fence. There's all kinds of orchards and grape trees and grapevines, sorry. Grapevines growing on trellises, and
It's water
And
deep. Who knows what
there's
they
a
grow
sign.
on?
Fantasy grape trees.
There's a sign. Yeah, fantasy grape trees. There's a wide variety. They're cultivars. There's a sign that says Stoutfellow Farm. It's been about an hour of travel, so you can see the water deep like high behind you, and it's approaching evening at this point.
Stout Fellows, the name of the family?
Yep, Stoutfellow Farm. There's also a path to the right. There's a sign that says Zuber Orchard and Meadery. Yep, and then further on, maybe like 5 minutes ride ahead of you, is another sort of encampment with like 20-foot high stone walls. You're not sure what that is. But there's kind of trees dotting the landscape, and you see kind of farmland all around you. So,
What if the Supers are in a war with the Stout Fellows?
Or and then the Zift, maybe the Zift family is behind the wall. You've seen through my ploy. No. Hatfields and McCoys.
That's what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember their names.
If we pull into... should we pull into the Stout Fellow Farm?
Should we get their children married to each other?
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna cause problems. Star-crossed lovers. Yeah, let's... Am I driving? Sure. I'll just say I'm driving, and I'm going to turn us into Stout Fellow Farm.
okay. And the farm is looking pretty busy. It's Uktar at this point, so most of the main harvesting is wrapped up, but there's still pumpkins and the last of the grapes, and there are many halflings that you see that are busy harvesting and mashing grapes to make wine. And you get to the main building where you're greeted by a halfling who is a heavy-set woman. She's got this like really conniving grin, and she kind of walks out to greet you and says, "Hello, friends!
Hail and well met!
The
Who might you
Emerald
be?"
Enclave sent us.
The Emerald Enclave sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Where's SWOJ?
You are SWOJ. I'm not familiar.
Oh,
The silver
I have a copy of the broadsheet
waves
that
of justice.
I bought a bunch of the. I
good
went a
call.
bunch of the broadsheets. I give her a copy.
Sure. And she looks at it, and she gets this wide grin, and she says, like, "Well, you seem like the right people for the job. Come in. And she takes you into this nice sort of a drinking hall.
We are worth every penny.
Mm-hmm. What's your name, ma'am?
So my name is Mary Stoutfellow.
Hi, Mary.
Hello.
We understand, the Emerald Enclave, as my friend Zay here was saying, said that you're having trouble with scarecrows.
That's right, yeah. For the last few weeks now, we've had reports and had workers that went missing and were found later, very injured. It's really, bringing things down here. I don't know why they're attacking us. I mean, we're barely even a blip on the map compared to the Zubers, but for some reason our farm has been, singled out by these monsters. And of course the city guard doesn't want to get involved yet. They think it's just hearsay and rumors, but I mean, ask my workers, these reports are real.
Have you actually seen a scarecrow attacking them?
I haven't seen one personally.
What leads you to think that it's scarecrows?
Oh, I trust my workers.
So the workers have seen them. Have they ever captured one and tried to pull a mask off?
No, they haven't. Mostly they just run.
Okay.
It's terrifying because what they say is that the scarecrows imitate our actual scarecrows, of which we have many, of course.
Yeah.
And it's imperceptible until you get right up close, and then they lean down and pounce. It's very difficult to root them out without destroying all of our scarecrows, which would be a massive waste.
That's terrifying.
So they mostly attack at night.
Okay.
Yeah, your best bet might be to just camp out in the wilderness, or you could ask the Zubers next door if they've been having any problems. They might be able to tell you more. I know they've been having issues of their own, so maybe they could provide some insight.
Great.
Or, if you take care of these scarecrows, we'd happily repay you with some barrels of wine, or if you know anyone who needs some of the finest wine in the city, we could provide that for you at a reduced rate.
Great.
And I mean, I'll let my husband know what's going on, and we'll work something out. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. SWOJ is on the case.
It's SWOJ, yes. That's a great name.
Thank you.
Really clever.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yes. Well,
I think we should go over and talk to the Zuber family and then set up camp.
I agree that we should talk to the Zubers. So this is just SWOJ talking.
Yeah,
now,
SWOJ.
And Terry's
SWOJ.
probably nearby. So can we afford to get paid in wine?
Well, if we could sell the wine.
But we can't. We don't have a tavern from which to sell the wine yet.
Yeah.
It's not like it goes bad. It'll keep.
That's true. It'll get better.
and you have a wine cellar too.
And we have a wine cellar.
It'd be good to
So
populate.
do we try to get the Zubers to pay us in actual money if there's something
Maybe,
going
or
on
we could
over
take
there?
out a loan with the wine as collateral.
Oh.
Or we could work 2 contracts at the same time.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can do.
So,
Although
Unless
maybe the Zubers
are
have ale.
Well,
Sorry.
Yeah. Or I'm just nervous that they might be behind this whole thing since the Scarecrows aren't attacking the Zuber family. Although they have their own separate problems. Let's go talk to them and find out.
Okay.
There's lots of signs in this distillery for like Sea Maiden's Fair themed drinks with like little drawings of Zardoz Zord like on the bottle, like the Sea Maiden's Pale, the Sea Maiden's Fancy, and there's all these different wine.
Does Zardoz look a little bit like Sean Connery?
which Connery?
Not really. He's dressed a lot like Sean Connery in a certain movie.
I'm embarrassed to say that I only literally just put that together. So
Yes.
yeah, okay.
So it's about a 15-minute ride to the east until you get to the Zuber farm, which is much larger. They focus exclusively on wine, and they have a huge, like touristy kind of brewery and distillery with like a gift shop at the front door with all kinds of flashy Zuber labeled goods, stuffed animals and pins and postcards and things. And what do you do as you approach? Nobody seems to take notice of you. You see a few workers in the fields, but they're less dense. There's less activity around the.
Does there seem to be a main house?
Yeah, there's this main. There's a couple of outlying houses,
complex.
but the road kind of leads up to this main like gift shop, and then like there's the front doors. Come on in. Hours are until 10 o'clock at night. Come try the Zuber Ale, and there's actually a poster, like a wanted poster type thing outside the front door. That if any of you want to look at.
I would definitely look at that.
Yeah, so you all hop out of the cart, and on this poster is a reward sign. It says missing Dasher Zuber.
Oh no.
Reward 500 gold pieces. And there's a drawing of a young halfling with curly brown hair.
I take the wanted poster off the wall and walk inside confidently.
Great. And you pass through the gift shop.
Yeah, that seems to be like the place to go.
The drinking hall is staffed by 3 halflings. They all kind of look up at you. There's a couple patrons. And they kind of nod to you and take their stations. And that's it. Nobody comes out to greet you or anything.
Okay.
You just walk in.
I'll go up to the counter then, or whoever seems to be like a person that I can talk to, and slap the wanted poster down and say, "We would like to find Dasher."
And the female halfling behind the bar says, "Yeah, I think many people would. It's a pretty freaking great reward, right?"
Well, and also it's the right thing to do. We're SWOJ. If anyone can find Dasher, it's us.
You're SWOJ, huh?
Yeah.
I read about you in the paper. I didn't think it was real.
It's real. We're
amazing.
We're the real deal. Any leads?
She says, on Dasher.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I haven't really kept in touch. I could go get Blossom.
Yeah, do you have... we would love to talk to Blossom.
Sure. She's in town today, so here. And she hops out from the bar, tells the other 2 to keep an eye on things, and then goes upstairs. And a few minutes later, she comes back down with what looks like a really finely dressed halfling with a poofy white shirt, wearing several silver rings on her hands. And she kind of regards you with sort of a haughty air, very friendly. Says, "Hello, I'm Blossom Zuber. I heard that you're here to help me find my son."
Yes, that's correct, Madam Zuber.
Well, I'm a very influential halfling, so it's difficult for me to ask for help in an affair like this, but it's been a couple of weeks now, and I haven't seen my son in all that time, so I'm worried that he may have been kidnapped, or captured, or worse.
And so he's been missing for a couple of weeks?
Yes.
Where was he when he was last seen?
I believe he was in the city with some friends of his, taking in a night on the town.
How old is he?
He is about 20 years old.
So he wasn't abducted here. He was in Waterdeep. Well, and it's not necessarily... I don't mean to alarm you by saying abducted. He went missing in Waterdeep.
She's like wringing her hands as you say this.
Sorry, it's just because we deal with so much craziness, I jump to the darkest conclusion sometimes. Really, he's probably just hanging out with some friends, and we will locate him. But he was in Waterdeep, not here in Undercliff.
Right. Dasher was very fond of going into the city to be with the common people, so to speak. You know.
Yeah, I understand.
He really empathized with the working people pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. You know, and I think he resented us a little, and he looks very chagrined by this for our sophisticated lifestyle. So it's ridiculous, I know, but
no, it's understandable. I'm Lark Wavesilver, so I understand.
You understand that it would be ridiculous to spend so much time standing with the common folk.
Absolutely.
Right.
But I also, as a young noble person, I understand that kind of drive to connect with the common working class.
Well, I think it's frivolous, but I trust you, you know, as another young person to understand.
What were some of his interests?
She says, I'll be honest, he didn't really share with me very much. We were kind of at odds.
Do you know where he would have gone in Waterdeep?
I don't. I never went there with him.
Okay.
I asked my cousins, the city zoopers, if they had seen him, but they hadn't. He must have been hanging out with a different crowd.
A kind of unrelated question. Have you had any issues with scarecrows?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, the scarecrows, yes. Yeah. Yes, we haven't had any issues here ourselves, but I'm very worried about it. I know the stout fellows have been having a lot of trouble lately.
But no trouble here.
No, I'm worried that it might cross over the road at some point, though.
Yeah. Which family is behind the big wall down the road?
Oh, that's a men's farm. That's not a family. That's where the city watch sends people who need to work to make reparations.
Is it pretty secure?
Well, it's got that 20-foot wall and city guards day and night.
We all know how effective walls are.
Yeah, super effective.
Right.
All you would need would be like a ladder.
Or a shovel.
Or a griffin.
Or a griffin.
Or a levitating spell.
Okay. That's been helpful. Any other question? What else do we need to know from Madame Zuber?
So this poster is a pretty good likeness of Dasher?
Yes, I drew it myself.
Wow, you're a very talented
Like the
artist.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love your vineyard here. It's very beautiful.
I think it's the most beautiful, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
I don't know. I kind of like the Stout Fellows.
It's different. It's beautiful in a different way.
I mean, they're trying. You know,
They're bucolic.
they've seen some success recently, but I know how fleeting fame is.
Yeah.
We're here to stay. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thanks. Thank you very much.
Certainly. I remember my roots with the common folk, and I'm glad to have some time with both the gentry such as yourself,
Yes.
Lord Wavesilver, and
the rest of them.
and the rest of you.
The Silver Whips.
Okay. Should we go? Do you want to poke around the gift shop before we leave?
Oh, it's too late. I've already taken something.
All right. Should we make camp for the night and look to see if, hopefully we can attract some scarecrows?
I was wondering if, yes. So my thought was, in preparation for this, that I would go and I would put phosphorescent moss on all of the scarecrows that are there during the day, so that if the ones that are real scarecrows should stand out in the nighttime.
Clever.
Using my druidcraft,
I can help spread moss.
I will make a bunch and place it in your hands.
Is this plan okay? Can we spread moss?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I'll try
So
to,
for the rest,
try to mark them.
Druidcraft is to generate?
Druidcraft? I mean, I don't. It says.
It takes some concentration to produce all this magic moss and keep it persisting.
Sure.
So you'd have to kind of be very meditative and focused to do this. If anything disturbs you, then the moss might.
So to maintain the moss. Okay.
Yep. To keep it glowing.
All right. So that'll be my job tonight.
Do you want to set up a watch order and camp out in the field, or?
How
I'll
big is the
stay
field?
awake.
Can you see from one end to the other?
It's several acres. No, not really. It's kind of
okay.
rolling hills,
Okay.
And the people are only being attacked at night.
Yes.
Yeah, let's set up a watch order. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go second.
Okay. I'll go third.
Like a few hours each.
I'll go last.
Do you have to stay awake to keep the moss growing, or we're not going to do that now?
I don't think I need to stay awake once I put it on.
I guess if it's like bioluminescent fungus, like not like a magical like glow that you're producing.
My thought was it was
makes
bioluminescent.
sense. Sure, yeah. Then okay, then it still kind of softly glows on its own.
Okay.
Once you're done. So you spend the rest of the evening kind of marking all the scarecrows, and there's a wide variety of scarecrows. Most of them are just pitched on a stick with like a pumpkin on their head or like a sackcloth. And a lot of them have like just twigs or branches or like old rusty implements for arms. And eventually you camp down on a high point on a hill, kind of overlooking most of the farm.
Yeah, that sounds like a good place.
Yeah, and let's see. So Ilka went first. Make a perception check, Ilka.
12.
So the sun sets, and as you keep watch on things, all the farmers in the area that are still working up until the dark kind of pack up their goods, and you're eventually left alone in this field with softly glimmering lights of the scarecrows all around you. And kind of the brighter light of the Zuber wine distillery and gift shop and complex in the distance, and then Waterdeep up on the hill somewhat farther away. But you don't see any movement in the farm around you. Scoot, same goes for you. As it approaches midnight,
Okay.
roll perception.
14.
14. You notice around you a few of the lights go out in the farm fields. Like far in the distance.
Okay.
Like some of the outlying ones.
The scarecrow lights?
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe there were like 40, and now there's about 30. Kind of towards the fringes, the lights are going out.
Okay. Any associated sounds or anything like that?
Nope. No.
Okay.
It's a peaceful night.
All right. Well, I just
Kinda
report.
chilly.
I keep my eye on that and report it to whoever comes up next.
Me.
Lark, roll perception.
6.
6. So, Lark, you kind of start to nod off. It's like early in the morning at this point, and you're keeping watch.
Had a long night last night.
But you've had a couple of long nights, and it's really catching up to you. And you wake up to the sound of snapping leaves and brush from the fields around you nearby.
What?
And you look around, and you see that all of the lights that were lit up are out at this point.
Oh shit! Everybody, wake up!
Will we have had a long rest at this point? Would I have had a long rest?
It'd be a short rest.
3. Okay.
At this point.
All right.
The lights are out!
But as you say that, Lark, a shadowy shape descends upon you with scythe-like hands from behind you and attacks. And you are clawed by a scarecrow with a pumpkin for a head. What's your armor class?
14.
It hits twice.
God.
Make a Constitution save.
Oh, what the? That's good.
17.
Okay, so you turn around and this thing, it's sort of like Scarecrow from Batman Begins, like its eyes like just go off into nothingness.
No!
It's terrifying. But from what you've seen the last couple of nights, it does not phase you, and you just manage to keep your ground and give it a steely glare right back. You do take 7 damage from the claws.
Okay.
As everyone wakes up, roll initiative.
Oh shit! Natural 20.
Yeah.
23.
11 for Zay.
11,
10.
How many? I took 7 damage?
10, 7, yep. 2 claws.
14.
14. So the rest of you wake up to see 3 scarecrows surrounding you with their arms out almost in a circle around your small encampment. 3 of you make Constitution saves right off the bat.
17 for Zay.
17.
Looks like a 19.
19. And then
Oh, wait, a saving throw? I'm sorry, 21.
15.
16.
16. Yeah, you're all totally fine. You've been through the ringer already, and so seeing these spooky scarecrows around you does not even faze you. One of them has a sackcloth for a head, one of them has a pumpkin, and one of them doesn't even have a head. It's just kind of like these weird like canopies thrown over this frame, and they all kind of have these like razor-like claws. There's a sort of a screaming and squealing coming from the metal and wooden parts that make them up as they kind of lurch towards you.
How many?
3.
Lark, how did they sneak up on you?
The lights all went out.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Lark, you go first. It's also it's pitch. Do you have a fire going? I assume. I guess.
I have dark vision, so I don't
Right,
care.
but the rest of you.
throw
Yes, there is
dancing
a
lights?
fire going.
Yeah. So Lark, you go first. You can see what's going on dimly.
I am going to throw a flask of oil on the nearest one,
Okay.
and then throw a log from the fire at it.
Nice.
Oh, are you wearing
Make an attack roll. A ranged attack roll.
A natural 20.
What?
Is that 2 in a row?
Keep that one.
So roll a 1d6 for damage.
5.
5. So you do 10 fire damage to the one closest to you. As the torch hits it in the face, the ember, and ignites it instantly with the oil that you threw on it before. So there's a flaming scarecrow, and the other two don't even flinch.
God.
And at this point, the scarecrow that you threw fire on actually makes a screaming noise itself and kind of starts clawing at its head. Doesn't seem to be doing much though. It doesn't have an actual body underneath. It's just enchanted materials. So.
But is it wood? Like, could it possibly burn away?
Yes, so it is burning away slowly where the fire is. Next is Ilka.
Now that it's burning and probably has lost some structural integrity, I would like to draw my trusty magic sword and cleave it across the shoulder.
Certainly. What'd you roll?
13.
That's a hit regardless.
Sweet.
So roll
Alright.
damage then.
I draw my magic sword and I charge the one that is on fire and I strike in an arc, aiming down at its shoulder. I do 1 damage.
1 damage plus 1 cold damage. So what happens actually is that the cold kind of sucks in the heat from the fire as you're slashing across it, and so it kind of collapses on itself as you swing down, and you don't really cut very far with your sword, but the cold sucks in the heat and kind of like ignites from the inside as that happens, and the whole structure kind of crumbles down as the fire consumes it. It looks like it was very weak to the fire that you cast on it, that you threw on it. So that one is down already. Zay.
So, we're surrounding a fire and they're surrounding us?
Yes. 2 of them are. You're not really surrounded anymore. They're both kind of on the opposite side of the one that just got burned down.
Okay. I am going to get to the highest ground I can and look and see if I see anyone controlling these creatures. Try to look. Oh,
It's like
Stupidly
2 in the morning
dark
at this
out.
point, so you won't see much. Unless you like.
So
try to see
after
it as
I
dark vision.
realize that it's so dark, I'm going to yell out, "Scoot, do you see anything?" And then
I see.
and then I will hit with my quarterstaff, the one without a head.
Okay. Attack roll.
I forget what I add.
What'd you get?
14.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Okay.
You add your proficiency and your strength modifier. So either way, it's a hit.
Okay. And then 4.
4 damage.
Bludgeoning damage.
It seems like this kind of damage doesn't really hurt it very much. Like
Okay.
it's made of wood and stone and metal already, and so it just kind of takes the brunt of the blow. It doesn't seem like affected too much.
Sure.
You leave a dent on it.
Okay.
So, Scoot. Or did you want to do anything else, or just charge
No.
it? Okay. Scoot.
Well, after hearing Zay yell, I do take a quick cursory look to see, do I see any of the figures
Perception.
within 60 feet or so? Well, I guess darkness is dim light in 60 feet, so. That's a 18.
18. You see faintly in the distance a glint of something.
How
shining.
far?
Maybe like 60 feet away, like right at the edge of your dark vision.
Well, that's going to take me too long to get there anyways. Can I make a note of the direction?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's coming from the east.
Okay. And do I have any idea what the glint is? Is it just something sparkling off of faint lights?
Yeah, it looks like a reflective surface.
Okay, some kind of reflective.
Kind of at like chest level.
Okay. All right. Well,
But then it quickly goes out as you're looking around.
Okay. Well, I just announced that I think I saw something, but a couple sprints away that direction.
Okay.
And then I'll take my great axe and go after. We got 2 left.
Yeah, you got Clubby McClubbed and the one that hasn't been hurt yet.
I'll go for the one that hasn't been hurt yet.
Pumpkinhead and Sackcloth.
Which one hasn't been hurt yet? Pumpkinhead?
Sackcloth.
Sackcloth?
Yep.
Okay, I'll go after Sackcloth.
Yep. He
Um,
whirls around towards you menacingly.
Yes.
He's got straw coming out for hair. He's got like weird wicker bones.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that's
he's
Spoopy eyes.
not leaving like much question.
Nope.
He's definitely there's something malicious. So yeah, I'll do a great axe thingy with it. You know what? And I'll go ahead and rage while I'm at it.
Sure.
I'll rage up and then go fire off at him. That's an 8. That's not a lot. So 13.
13 hits.
Cool. I'm always forgetting what a 12 looks like. There it is. So 1d12 plus 3 plus 2. So 12 damage.
12 damage.
Of the
Again,
slashing variety.
it exhibits that same resistance.
Yeah.
The physical on physical isn't really affecting them too much.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 2 scarecrows that are up, one attacks Yuze and one attacks you, Scoot.
Cool.
So the one attacking Yuze hits you twice. One attacking you, Scoot, hits you once. So Zay, you're going to take 5 damage. Scoot, you take 5 damage as well.
2.
2 damage. And then both of you make Constitution saves again.
20.
So I have a meta question or
Yes.
whatever. My temp hit point, does that go away the first time I get hit?
I think it goes
Or
after
do
the
I-
long rest, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yes, after the long
Okay.
rest.
but okay, so let's say I still had a temporary hit point. Would that go away first?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, my save is
Constitution
10.
save?
10. Wisdom save, sorry.
Wisdom.
No, oh, wisdom.
You want me to use the same roll?
Either way, yep.
6.
Oh, I'll use the same roll.
Okay, you are both terrified. The scarecrow, the darkness from its eyes, like swallows you.
I have advantage against being frightened.
Then roll again.
20!
Yeah, you steal yourself. You've seen darker shit.
Actually, he's starting to look kind of cute.
Yeah, it really is. It's like ridiculous that these like funky, shambling things would try to scare you.
Yeah.
However, Scoot,
Yeah.
this is some eldritch magic of the likes of which you've never seen,
That's gross.
and you are probably about to die.
Lovecraft
So,
sucks.
yep. You don't know why these bad things keep happening to you.
I do. As soon as I met up with these people.
You are frightened. Lark.
Okay. I am going to pull out my rapier and attack. So Scoot is at the sackcloth and Zay is at the pumpkin.
Correct.
I will go after the pumpkin.
My hero.
I think I would assume that Scoot has things handled. I don't use that dismissively.
She hasn't turned into a spider yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got this. I'm gonna still go after the one that is attacking Zay. All right, I'm gonna try to leverage a sneak attack because he's engaged. So I have 14
Hits.
for 8, 1d6 plus 6 and 7, 10.
10 damage, so it does 5 damage.
I want to aim for the pumpkin.
Oh, okay, so you totally explode the pumpkin when you stab it.
Yeah.
And this thing is just headless now, and it kind of puts its hands where its head was and tries to grab it. There's nothing there, and then it turns towards you and gets really pissed.
Oh man.
But it's still up.
Okay.
It's not, doesn't have a brain or anything.
How does it see you?
I don't know.
It's a mystery.
Magic.
Yep. Ilka, it's your turn then.
That fire trick was great. I want to light them on fire. So I'm going to... how close are they to each other?
They're about 10 feet apart.
I'm gonna run to the fire and pick up yet another burning stick, one in each hand, and try to throw it at both scarecrows.
Damn. So you would take 1 damage from just holding flaming logs. Like that. But make an attack roll with disadvantage.
That's
Roll twice, so take the lower one.
3.
3. Make a second one with disadvantage as well, since you're throwing 2. So roll 2 more times.
7.
7. Okay, so both your throws go wide into the darkness. With the burning on your hands and kind of the chaos of the situation, you don't hit them. Boom, boom.
Failure.
But there's now more light surrounding you.
Sweet.
As the orchard kind of
Silver lining.
starts to light up a little bit. It's nighttime and there's kind of some dew, so it's not like it's spreading a fire or anything, but
That's
you can
good.
see a little better. So, say.
using Druidcraft, light a flame in what I think of as the center of the chest of the formerly pumpkin-headed scarecrow.
The no-headed scarecrow.
The headless scarecrow.
Okay. Are you trying to, hurt it? Is that the idea? Burn it up?
I'm trying to light it on fire, yes.
Okay. Make an attack roll. A ranged attack roll.
Well, it's Druidcraft.
Yeah, but you still have to, target it as it's
Okay.
going around.
6 plus something, probably.
Yeah, 6 plus proficiency plus your wisdom
4?
modifier.
10?
10. So 10 would not hit. It is juking around too much. As it's wheeling around without a head, you try to get your hand on it to produce the fire, but you can't. It's too nimble.
Okay, that's not how Druidcraft worked, but that's okay. Because you're the DM.
It's like a produce flame spell. You're trying to actually hurt something with it.
Sure.
That takes
That
a
would
ranged
make
attack
sense.
roll.
Okay.
So I'm just using it the same way, but it's Druidcraft instead of produce flame, so it's a little bit weaker.
Okay,
So that's where I'm coming from with that.
alright, that makes sense. I'll think of that when I try to do something like this in the future.
To damage something, you have to actually be able to get it,
Sure.
So, next would be Scoot then.
Am I still right up next to Sackcloth Head?
Yes,
That's when I was attacking?
Yeah,
And
it was Zay and Lark next to Pumpkinless, and
Yes.
you next to Sackcloth.
Okay. And there's still a fire?
There is still fire
Still-
all around you.
Is there still a campfire? I mean, we've taken 3 logs off of it, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
still...
yeah, totally.
How far away is it?
5 feet right behind you.
Yeah. So I'm frightened. I can't willingly move closer to this guy.
Right.
And I have disadvantage
Right.
unless I use something that gives me advantage. I'm going to grapple this motherfucker and suplex him into the fire.
I love it.
Okay.
And I get advantage on because of the rage, so it
it's a normal roll.
it nullifies the
Yeah.
disadvantage.
Cool.
So this is just setting down the thing, German suplex, this sackcloth
Sure.
guy.
Do
If
it.
Zay witnesses this happening, she's gonna have a new hero.
7.
To beat 11.
It'd be, well, I got, yeah, probably like a 10.
10. So you start grappling with the thing, but you can't throw it over your shoulder.
Okay,
You're just
so-
kind of tangled up with it.
Okay, well, at least got him in a grapple then.
Yep.
Okay. I'll take that. If I can I move him? I can't move him.
Not yet.
I couldn't walk with him now?
No. You have to beat him in a check to do that.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll take this then.
Lark. Oh, actually, sorry. Scarecrow's first. Scarecrow tries to bust out. Scoot, roll another roll.
What do you want for this?
Strength or dexterity, your choice. Athletics or acrobatics.
Athletics. Ooh, I will athletics this.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah, you keep him pinned. The other one attacks Lark twice. Crits you once, Lark. Sorry.
Shoot.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Lark, you take 16 damage.
God damn it.
Sorry. As it gets its full complement of damage on you.
What's the rule about the max hit points and damage?
Is that your max hit points?
No. It almost is though.
It almost is. If it's your max hit points are above that, I think, then you just die from one attack.
I have 17 for my max hit points.
Okay. So you are out.
Hard.
Yes. So this thing just horrifyingly lacerates Lark with both of its claws as you're all watching, just in a frenzy as its friends are getting demolished around it. It doesn't seem to care at all about the damage it's taking. They just want to destroy. They don't want to protect themselves at all. So
I tried to make it look like I was shielding Zay.
Clearly, that is what you were doing.
make a death save, Lark.
Alright. Right away?
Success.
Okay.
Okay. Ilka. Your turn.
That worked super well last time. With the one who's occupied with Lark, would I am I behind the one who's occupying Lark?
You're kind of adjacent to it. Oh, sorry. No, you were on your own before. You were throwing fire at them. So you're by the fire right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're maybe like Lark is between you and the Scarecrow at this point. So it goes fire.
But either way, I'm facing him,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't be able to sneak up on him.
No, you could flank him with Zay attacking that one too. So you could still have advantage if you wanted to attack it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go attack it.
Do it with advantage. What'd you get?
16.
That's a hit.
Sweet. D6 plus 2 cold
There you
damage. 3
3
cold
damage. Swing and you stab it, and the magic of the sword definitely seems to actually puncture it and like leave
Yes.
a huge mark that slows it down a little bit.
That is a beautiful die.
Zay.
The green one. Feels very ilky.
It's very sparkly.
Zay is going to summon the Balm of the Summer Court to heal her hero, who is wounded in defense of her. This is a bonus action. Can I do that before my action? Yeah? Okay.
Totally.
Oh. So you get 1 and a temporary hit point.
So you're conscious again, Lark. You're at 0, so now you're at 1.
Okay. All right. So I have 1 temporary hit point.
Yep.
And you have 1 hit point and 1 temporary hit point.
Okay.
And then I'm going to enraged, which doesn't mean anything, touch that damn guy again.
Yep.
And try to produce flame within him. Oh my god.
Crit fail.
Crit fail.
Crit fail. So you spark fire and it jukes out of the way again, but this time the fire kind of like sparks out and hits some dry leaves that are in the area, and the whole field kind of starts to burn.
Oh, we are
around you.
not helping.
In like a 20-foot diameter, like this whole campsite is kind of starting to light up. So if you had any stuff that was like on the ground, it's starting to get damaged by the fire. But it takes some time, but that spell ignited things in the area.
I can also snuff out a flame later.
Scoot, your turn. The scarecrows are like really alarmed by this, like the fire.
Oh
is
yeah,
not their friend.
I did it on purpose,
So,
guys.
Do I ever get to
Say-
repeat my wisdom save to not be frightened, or am I just frightened for the rest of my life?
Do it again for the next turn. Yep. Especially with the fire.
7, so that's not going to do much.
Would you have advantage with raging though?
I'm not on wisdom.
Against frightening though? Is that a thing?
No.
Okay.
No. So, all right. Well, I'm just gonna try to. I'd like to do athletics, and then I'll finish my move up.
Yeah.
Hopefully, suplex this guy into one of the many fires that is now around.
Oh, I rolled a 1. I'm lucky. It's fine. It's fine. It already happened.
It already happened.
It was also kind of cool what happened.
All right. So that's a 19.
Yeah, that succeeds.
So yes, my goal is to just
Slam him down. And just watch
slam him
burn.
down into the fire behind me, and then release.
Okay. Yeah, and roll a d6 for damage.
Sure. Got those. 6 plus.
6.
Can I take the 2 for rage?
It's not like a strength attack. It's just the
okay.
fire itself burning him.
Oh, okay.
So it takes 12 damage from the fire.
Does it take any impact from the hit?
Nope.
Okay.
You're just throwing him down. But you take 1 damage from the fire as well.
Okay.
And
Do
it takes...
I half that to 0?
No. It's straight up 1. So 2 damage, half. It's not physical damage. So,
Oh, gotcha, I suppose.
So now the scarecrow tries to get up. Roll strength or athletics.
I'm not holding him down anymore.
Okay,
I
let him
released
go.
him. So.
Okay, then he gets up and he tries to attack you.
Do I get my movement to get up off the ground too? Because all I did was an attack.
Yeah, you're not prone. You threw
Okay,
him
so
down.
I get up and I
Yep.
grab my great axe off the ground because I don't want them to burn either.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he attacks you and misses.
Okay.
The other one attacks Zay twice. What's your armor class, Zay?
13.
13. 1 hit and a crit again.
Oh shit.
This guy is just nuts. Pumpkinhead.
Okay.
1, 2.
He's mad about his head.
He does 10 damage to you.
All right, I am at 0.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and your clothes are like barely protecting you as the fire starts to lick up against you too.
I was gonna put that out this turn.
Lark, roll it. No, you can move now. You have an action. You're standing in like ankle to knee height fire right now. So it's kind of...
Well, I probably have to get up, right? If I was unconscious.
Right. So you're on the ground. It takes half your move to get up.
Okay, so I am going to get up, and I'm basically standing right next to Pumpkinhead. Zay is in the fire.
Yeah, Zay just collapsed in the fire too. And I mean, the fire is it's not like coating the ground, like it's kind of in patches around as it's spreading, so it's not like you need to like get out of it. You can just kind of like stay in safe places until it spreads further.
Okay.
And hop around.
So does it seem like Zay is in immediate danger of catching on fire?
Pretty soon, yeah, like in a round or 2.
Round or 2? Okay, then I will use this round to see if I can get this guy. So I'm going to attack with my rapier again, no sneak attack bonus, but I'm going to swing it wildly and say, "For justice!" Ooh, yeah. 24.
Hits.
Shit. Only 4.
4 damage. Okay. So it resists some of that. But the fire is slowly taking its toll on its legs because they're made of wood. And it's starting to crumple down. It's like kind of like crawling at this point, like standing and crawling and stumbling towards you. Ilka.
I'm gonna go stab it with my sword.
Pumpkinhead?
Yeah, the one crawling.
Okay. Go for it with advantage.
Good thing. Uh-oh.
9 and 13.
Yep, that hits.
Alright, I run over to this crawling thing and I stab it across the shoulder blades.
A d6 plus 2 for damage.
Oh, sorry.
5.
5. That does the trick. So it's on the ground, and you kind of smash it down from the shoulder blade, and pin it to the ground, and it kind of just goes limp and shudders to death as the fire licks up and overtakes it. Zay, you are unconscious. Make a death save.
Oh, okay. What is that, a 20?
20.
And I just need to do what?
You need to roll
10
above
or,
a
10 or
10.
higher.
Above a 10?
Yep.
17.
You make one save. It's good. You're squaring off with
Sit
this
rep here.
burning-
Is he on fire, at least?
He is on fire.
Okay.
And he's standing in the fire, looking furious, waving his fiery arms around and coming towards you, trying to be as terrifying as he can be.
Oh,
You are no longer frightened. After you threw him down, that broke the spell.
Oh, okay, cool. So, I'm still raging.
Yep.
Because I burned myself for that. I want to take my lovely, lovely great axe, and I want to do a big sweeping strike. I'm going for the legs, Johnny. I want to see if I can take his legs out and drop him right again into that fire, and I hope it burns low and slow.
Okay, roll me.
Get him a body bag. That kid was awesome.
You're going Cobra.
Jack die between an 18 and a 5. I'm not.
Roll it again.
It's going to land on an 18.
I could tell. I was trying to get to the 20. So that's
That'll do it.
yeah, that's one. So it's a 10, which would hit, or there's the 18 again. So healthy hit. So this is the 12. Ooh, not a 12. That's going to be 8 damage towards the legs.
And you sever it. It's kind of like writhing around, but with your sideways sweep coming up, you actually sever it in half.
Oh.
And the two halves are kind of like in the fire, like writhing around. They can't really move around or get to you. So at this point,
I
three
take
of
a
you are
bonus
not in danger
action.
except from the fire.
What's that?
I run and grab Zay and pull her to safety.
Okay, and what do you do, Scoot?
I point and laugh at the thing.
What about you, Oka?
I'm casting Healing Word on Zay.
Okay. So that's a D8 or something.
Wait, are we still in battle?
No,
No.
there's no more things threatening you except for the fire, which is slowly spreading. That one scarecrow that's split in half is still thrashing around.
Is he spreading the fire any further?
It's a D8.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he's burning and he's like waving around.
I finish it.
You see, you like crunch him down a few more times until
Yeah.
eventually it goes limp. Yeah. Coup de grace.
All right, I'm casting healing. No, because we're not in battle. Then I can use Cure Wounds on Zay for 4 plus
So 5 plus 5.
So 9?
9.
I'm going to...
Guys, what happened? Where'd all this fire come from?
We killed the scarecrows with
When
fire.
it's starting to look up on you
I
guys.
start going around putting out the fires.
I want to
as fast as
try to stop it out too.
Okay.
I can use my druidcraft to put out campfire-sized worth of fire at a time.
Okay, and as you guys are doing this, some of the halflings from the farm are also trying to run up to the top of the hill from where they were sleeping, their sleeping quarters, with buckets of water, and they're all stressed out, and they're coming to help put out the fire and see what's going on. The Southarts are there too, the husband and wife, and they're all kind of like ordering their people around and marshalling them to help put out this fire and keep you guys safe, and some of them bring you healing potions and wine, and help you guys stay safe.
Healing potions and wine. So we're probably good again.
How many healing potions? I'd be very interested.
Just enough to heal you until you're like not dying anymore. So like at least above half health.
Okay.
Like until the lacerations on your chest close.
Okay.
And I'm drunk then.
Yeah, and all these healing potions are made with alcohol in them too. So at this point
sweet.
you're all pretty tipsy.
All the best ones are.
If you take the potions.
We killed the scarecrows.
Like I see that. That's amazing. The silver ways of justice. I'm gonna tell everyone about you.
Yeah, please do.
Come stay in our house with us, please.
Have you never killed a scarecrow before?
We never have. No, none of our workers are trained fighters.
When we get back, can you tell us stories of what they look like?
What the scarecrows look like?
Yeah, so we can be sure we got them all.
Oh, sure. I mean, we heard there were at least one, but maybe three. So it looks like
The
Okay.
three
This is
here
a
had
lot.
one had the head of a pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
One had
It was so cute.
This is
Zay's
married.
Zay's roll drunk
Potions
already.
are so good.
It's like, why don't we get somewhere safe? Come on, everybody. Come on.
Before we do that, I ask, what is down that way? Is there any
east.
like 60 feet where I saw the glint?
Oh.
I ask, is there any structures or anything down there that?
Look, and she says, "Well, the Zuber farm is that way." But no other major structures.
Okay, just checking.
Sure.
All right, and then we go.
And then over the course of the night, as you're resting, you level up.
Oh, thank God.
And from the power of the spirits and the potions and the experience you've had the last few nights. And let's call it there.
Woo!
Dum,
Yes,
dum,
SWOJ!
ba-da-dum, dum.
Hello, listeners. This is Scott Hebert, producer of Twin Portals. I just wanted to take a moment on behalf of the entire Twin Portals team to say thank you to all of the listeners who have supported us by subscribing, downloading, seeing us in person, and hanging out with us in our Discord channel. A while back, this all started as a fun little, you know what, let's try this thing. And you have all overwhelmed us with your positive feedback. We want to give a few special thank yous to some people and groups who have helped us along the way. First, a huge metal thank you to Leeland Campana for use of his song Avernum as our theme song. It rocks. Thank you to local artists Aurora Webster and David Short for their character and concept art. A thank you and shout out to a few other local podcasts, Horror Rewind, The Nearest Stars, and Free Roll 5. Make sure you search for them on iTunes or Google Play. And thank you so much to Renegade Theater Company and the Teatro Zaccone for allowing us to use their space for recording, as well as hosting our live shows. Our next live show is scheduled for Wednesday, July 17th at 7:30 p.m. We hope to see you there at the Teatro Zaccone. Until then, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and please come talk to us about it. Information on our Discord channel is on the Facebook page, or you can feel free to send a message to our Twitter or Instagram pages. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.